Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
State and Notre Dame both last year. Northwestern, by the way, is now the losing team, and they block a punt for good measure. Daniel and Duke, what a night he's had.
When will you stop and appreciate how special and how historic all of this has been?
I'm really not thinking about the next game. I'm thinking about cracking open a beer.
Williams throwing, and it's caught for the touchdown by DJ Moore. Forget about the clock. Just take the lead when you can.
Look out for Devontae Adams down here. They give it to Puka Nacua, though, and Nacua breaks tackles and gets his second touchdown. Pulling it down. Yeah, through it. Oh, what a catch by Washington. They got to get out and get down. They're not going to make it. I don't think they can. 34 yards. No one is set.
This is a chance. Defense is offside, but
Here it is, 54 yards. Washington's kick. After all that, it's no good.
Second and goal. Couple of fakes. Purdy quick throw. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Robinson again, and the 49ers strike first.
And a 7-point lead on the road after being behind by 16. Jamarcus, Kamask, up top right side, drives on Bailey. Between two defenders, lost the handle in the hands of Frager, puts it up. He's fouled, and Frager will shoot two. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, Nebraska. The Huskers are going to win this one. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Sanford's not going to be fouled, and it is over. It is over. Nebraska on the road goes 16-0. 5-0 in the conference, knocking off Indiana 83-77. Basketball School 83. Football School 77. Rename the movie. It ain't the Hoosiers, it's the Huskers.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by
a little dramatic.
Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
Oh, seemingly never passing up the chance to take a shot at football, huh?
Yeah, you know, it seemed unnecessary.
Torn between two lovers.
Seemed unnecessary.
Feeling like a fool.
Who's that?
Shane, is that Rita? Who is that?
That could be Rita.
Big Rita guy?
No, no, I'm not a. No, I
She's cool.
I make fun of people that drink Ritas, but I mean good on them.
Marga?
Yeah.
Why would you?
By the way, did you know that Melania's gonna have a movie?
I did not.
I wonder, is it like free license? Like, did everybody just get to do what they want, or
Apparently,
just gonna be censored?
Just out here, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure she could. I mean, she could. She's already loaded.
Sure.
Like, if she wanted to, she could just do like a tell-all doc or book.
Just a little tour.
And she would make a bajillion. Is that a real number? Bless you.
Not
little sneezy friend.
Not mathematically, no. But I knew.
Thank you. Talking about a little guy, so I said thank you.
Good morning, Shane. How we doing?
Good morning.
We're gonna pick up right where we left off. I see.
Yeah, big Rita Coolidge guy. There we go.
It is Rita Coolidge, right?
I don't know. I just Googled Rita Coolidge.
Okay. It doesn't mean that she sang the song. I know
it doesn't.
I know she's a real person.
She was married to Chris Christopherson for a while.
It's Mary. Shane, you knew this. You told me this before. It's
Mary
Eminem. It's Mary McGregor.
Oh, Mary McGregor.
Eminem.
Marshall Mathers. Different Eminem.
Okay.
You're not a big Marshall Mathers guy?
He's one of my favorites, as you know. But that wasn't that funny.
I don't know.
It's
Monday. We're trying to get into it still.
We are
trying to get into it still.
My Friday was atrocious. We're not going back to that. My dog, I thought he had IBDD. He did not move. He was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a pinched nerve.
Ooh.
But he's on 3 meds. I almost feel like it's the Big Lou commercial. Oh, it's like Big Lou, except he's on wife number, whatever they say.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So my middle fatty is on the skids. My old guy is old.
Mm-hmm.
And this pup that got dropped in my lap, she's a little cutie, but getting on the same page in the household.
Oh yeah, menace.
You
gotta get everybody lined up, man.
Can you say that for those in the back?
You gotta get everybody lined up. Like, alignment is crucial here. And this is, I'm not.
It's gonna make my stomach hurt just thinking about it right now.
I'm not great at certain parts of the training, but like I defer those to my wife. She's very good at them. You kind of like pick your strengths, right? Got to figure out, but everybody's got to be on the same page.
Gonna be the end of me.
Much like a defensive coordinator, everybody's got to know what their role is.
Yeah, so we're not gonna expound. But I did. You'd be very happy with me. I lost a whole night of sleep, but it was by choice.
Well,
so Friday night going into Saturday morning, I had to take. I think we're gonna go with Bella. So
ooh, okay.
Buddha, Big Game Bella. I wanted Bluey, but apparently Zoe is the only one in our house that knew that Bluey was a girl. Even though I only knew that Bluey was a girl because somebody told me that Bluey was a girl.
Yeah, I think you told me that Bluey was a girl.
But she has like the Max Scherzer thing going on. One blue eye, one. It may go back to being blue.
Oh, it's got the like dual chronastic, whatever it's called.
Chronastic. That's a nice word.
I think that there's a term for
Shane,
it.
have you ever? Never mind. I'm gonna. Why are you reading my glasses?
I just think it's
those
funny.
are my lumberjack sturdy ones.
I just think it's funny that they're called peepers.
Hey, I'm tripping.
Oh, you're just going to continue to gas this morning up.
Oh, what'd I do?
But Friday, yeah. So Bella had got up on. I try to be on a good schedule. Anyway, so I
bichromialism.
Bichromialism.
Yeah.
What did you call it? Chronastic.
Chronastic. Yeah. I was
bichromialism.
I feel like I was in the neighborhood.
That's a. I mean, I just can't weave that into everyday lexicon,
tough.
but
it's good to know though.
It's good. It is good to know.
I knew there was a term for it.
So it may go back to the other color. But I wanted to go with like Bella Blue. You know, I'm on kind of that B alliteration thing.
Buddha, Biggie, Bella.
And Caleb thinks he's going to swoop in and get her. So ultimately that may save my sanity.
You may have to have a fight with Zobear there.
Yeah, well, she can go live with him. Well, he's got enough roommates.
I was going to say, apparently that's everybody's choice.
Well, fudge. Like Ingerson pulls up the other day. He's got this monster truck.
Yeah.
It's like Lee Majors in the Fall Guys. Like, brum, 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 but he is a monster.
Yeah. He's
No. You guys see him.
Has he gotten?
I swear to goodness.
I mean, he started at 6'7", so.
This kid gets bigger every time I see him.
Yeah.
And now he's like yoked. So he looks like a dude.
He like looks the part.
Yeah, so it's funny too because he pulls up and I'm like, Caleb, what's going on? He's like, oh, Eric needs a key. I'm like, for what? He's like, oh, he's gonna keep his stuff at our house for a while. I was like, is he a roommate? Kinda. He clearly didn't want to elaborate, so I kept it pushing.
Yeah.
But you got somebody else moving in too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what are you guys doing?
New guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we're getting ready to move. I was like, huh?
How big is this place they're living in?
No, it's a regular house.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's nice. It's funny, too, because he's like, we spent a ton of time together last week, and I learned a lot of his little particulars and how this dude basically equates fans and media as the same people, so I had to tell him that really they're not.
Yeah.
But this is how.
Mm-hmm.
And then that he's out on carpet.
Doesn't like carpet.
Yeah, he's like, I'm looking for a place that has more carpet because they have all wood floors. And the only place that has carpet is in the basement, but it's 3 levels. It's an older house. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah. Wait, so he does like carpet?
Does.
Okay.
Does. And I'm like, shoot, I'd tear ours out in a heartbeat if I could.
Yeah.
So just, whatever.
That's how Natasha's. Natasha's like a hardwoods.
Yeah, I'm team. Do they call them laminates or is that just for countertops?
So laminate is a type of material. But I think you're talking like the luxury vinyl. The luxury vinyl is the like new one that sort of looks like wood but isn't.
Yeah. So okay. So as we continue to get, because we're already ridiculously close, and more news that breaks, he's now more comfortable saying "I told you so," as if I'm even arguing with him. So like occasionally.
Wait, so like he's putting you in the same category?
He knows better because I told you. Did I tell you on the way back from Nebraska City? He goes, you know what I think is cool? It's even you'll ask me to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I may look at a coverage and I may see what happens and I shoot. But I'm
feel
always
like
going to be like,
you feel like
just so I'm not crazy. And I'll verify with him. But anyway, I heard this. I told you. and it's coming from downstairs. So I'm like, who are you talking to? Because the dogs were upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, man, I told you McGahee was coming back.
Oh, yeah. I think that one surprised people.
And I go,
other people.
Yeah. And I go, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
He goes, man, everybody's blah, blah, blah about McGahee. Man, that dude never wanted to go. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Right? He elaborated. That's their own business, whatever. And about 15 minutes later, Parrot's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
See? Like, that's my boy. He was supposed to have been playing all, then he goes into this deal. I'm like, hey, man, who
you talking to?
Who you talking to? Like, I don't have any, like, I try to tell people,
yeah,
hey, he may say, test the portal, see what you can get so you're happy, so you know that the grass isn't green on the other side. You'll better, like, just so you can be at peace,
mm-hmm.
right? He goes, oh, all right, I'm leaving at 1:15.
He just moves on.
Good talk, man.
It's
like he wants me to talk to the masses through him.
Yeah.
He doesn't say boo. I'm like, nah, man, you'll be good. You'll be good.
I think the masses were surprised by the McGahee thing.
Yeah. So the players knew that he didn't want it because he came up to, they were talking after the bowl, he and Shavers, and it was like, hey, Joey is a trip.
I don't know who put that up.
Joey, that is not nice.
Welcome over, Joey.
Hey, where you been?
Good to have you, big dog. I think so. I mean, from the perspective,
I think McGahee was telling the players that he wasn't interested in. He didn't really want to leave. He just, what these guys got to realize is,
mm-hmm.
like, if I could just have a memo, like, your coaches are going to challenge you. And I think your head coach is to the point now where he's not going to want to coax you into wanting to be here.
Or into effort, right?
When he started the narrative of the portal giveth and the portal taketh away, and we're going to coach the guys that want to be here,
mm-hmm.
like, that was a clear message that they were recalibrating.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to speak for anybody else. This is just my opinion.
My open onion.
I think that is why the starting quarterback for the last 2 years is not here anymore.
Yeah.
Because they recalibrated and they were no longer aligned.
100%.
Like, I don't.
And it's led to the hires too. But anyway, so I think.
I just think the way McGahee's season played out, like that, I heard that as soon as they said they were going to redshirt him, people were like, oh, he's gone. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, it's just not.
I think people thought he was a malcontent for some reason. And I'm not totally sure why.
Sometimes adults, so my whole eyes were open to this perspective. Even though I thought it, I didn't say it out loud because I didn't think of it that way. But, when we were in the car and Caleb goes, like, we're young. Sometimes we just say a lot of things. And sometimes you say a lot of things to other people. And other people
take it more seriously.
Yeah, as opposed to just saying.
Like, you could be venting.
Oh, they're just being kids.
Yeah.
Right. And then you tell one person and then another. But at no point, I think the players always kind of felt like McGahee was one of them.
I was glad to see Dylan Parrott come back.
I know that bug. Yeah. Like,
that bugged me. Because
if you would have been more available, I would have probably reached out. But
yeah.
I don't know what you were on this weekend, which is fine. Like, I'm going to officially kick you out because.
What did I do?
Oh, I'm a super hypocrite because. I want you to be available when I want you to be available.
But you don't want to be available when you don't want to be available.
Correct.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, although for you, I am.
Yes.
So.
Well, let's be clear. When you call, I almost always answer or get you back right away.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, does Next Gen have you feeling that good? Because you're awful active now.
I am very
always
active.
Doing something, and it's kind of pissing me off. So anyway, no, it is because I was in a funk Friday and Saturday with the dogs. But
yeah,
I'm like, hey, your boy's back because you had a mini meltdown the other day after the off air about Parrott.
Yeah,
which was a weird, clingy take.
So it's dumb, but I liked him in the fall practice that I saw. I thought
you did.
I thought he filled a need that Like if you're looking at it, if you're looking like, hey, we need some help on the defensive line. I don't love how they're playing.
He's a big, strong dude too.
Big, strong dude, and like I legitimately thought. And listen, I saw one practice, so take that for what you will, right? But
I'm gonna take it as poopy.
Which it might be, who knows? But in that one practice, he was the guy that beat the offensive lineman the most consistently.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that was the most dominant even in that group. And so I sit there and I go, okay, I get that might not be every day. But if that's a problem you're having, maybe give it a shot.
Yeah.
That's the thing I had a hard time with.
So good on you.
With this whole year. So I was glad to see him come back. I was glad to see McKEWON come back. I was glad to see Tarver come back.
And now you have the curious case of Keona Davis.
I know. I'll be honest though.
So if Keona, is he in? Is he out? Is it official? Is it not?
Yeah.
Because his parents did come up here to Lincoln.
Yeah.
Almost
a year ago.
About to this date.
Yeah. Because this happened last year.
Will you feel better? Or are you content either way?
I'm fine either way. I'm a little frustrated that he's done this twice.
Okay.
Like, I understand the, like, hey, go see what's out there, put your feelers out, like grass isn't always greener. He already did that. So I don't know why he had to do it again.
Yeah.
So I like if he's just not ready to be here, that's fine. I'm kind of like, I don't know, we said this last week when, some of the names are going in, and I go, there's not a lot of guys on this roster, or maybe nobody on this roster, where I say can't move on without him, right? And you said Pritchett, and I go, that's a good point. But outside of that, I want the guys that want to be here. That's one of the reasons. Like, I'm happy they're taking Danny Kaelin back. I don't know if he's ever going to play here. I really don't
believe how that fell into their laps.
Yeah, it's basically the exact guy I wanted.
Exact thing that you wanted.
I know. Like to the T.
I was like, what are the odds? He's low and
low maintenance.
I may or may not have had this conversation with somebody affiliated with the program. I'm like, he doesn't need a babysitter.
Yeah, super low maintenance.
He's gonna compete.
100% wants to be here.
If you had to play him,
you'd probably be fine.
You'd be fine.
Yeah.
And he's not gonna rock the boat.
Yeah. And he bleeds Nebraska.
He
loves the university. He loves the state.
And the cool thing about this, though, this is why I've always, as even since high school, I rock with DK.
Mm-hmm.
I got why he did. It's kind of like another quarterback that everybody wanted, right? That's not in Lincoln.
Yeah.
When it doesn't go the way you want it to early in the recruiting process as a sophomore or whatever, like it's easy to develop feelings.
Sure.
I feel this way about this school because this is what seemed to happen. And then it's, well, I don't really want to go there ever anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So then they don't really recruit you.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody on the outside has their own opinions.
And this all starts when you're like 15 or 16 years old, by
Correct.
the way. So
correct.
Like that, I think, is an important thing to remind people
for transitioning from one regime to the other in terms of recruitment and then falling in love with the place while you're there, good on both the guys, right? DK for being open and receptive, understanding that different philosophies, new sets of eyes. Hey, this is what we're about.
And you don't have the 600-pound gorilla in the room.
And now it's like, what's that? Oh, wow, you just
no. I'm just saying, like, if Dylan Raiola isn't here blocking,
it's okay. I know how you feel.
I'm saying if you don't have a 5-star legacy in the way of playing time, Danny probably never leaves.
I know.
You know what I mean? So I'm not.
So I say good on him.
Like I'm not trying to. Like this isn't a Dylan thing. It's just like there was a clear obstacle to anything that resembled playing time.
It was just cool to hear Caleb say, because usually when he says DK, he's talking about Danny King.
Yeah.
He's like, my boy DK back in the fold. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you pumped? He's like, let's go.
Can I ask a question? You may not know the answer. And
what am I gonna say? Don't ask.
Well, I don't know. Maybe depends what kind of mood you're in.
Hey, don't tell me. You got a coin? How many sizes it got?
Flip it.
Nah, I'm telling you, I'm a snap out of it.
Caleb kind of did not like a 180, but like DK really grew on him once they were in Lincoln together,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
Because like,
which is why it's not why, but it's a big reason why I'm all in.
yeah,
because it's easy when you play against a guy and it's playmakers in purple and they're throwing it all around the yard,
and you feel a certain way about your place
playing
in a
against them,
program.
like, I'm like, Foz is going to piss me off.
It's hard to shake that, right?
But then once they're not us and that game's over, it's like, okay, I'm back to cheering for you.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm a rock with. I mean, unless there's only like a couple of kids where I'd be like, don't want anything to do with you.
Sure. Yeah.
And one of those is now somebody else's problem in the Metro. But anyway, that's so childish. Knock it off, DB.
Lock in.
I had to rewind.
I think I know what you're talking about, but it's fine.
Grow up. I'm going to grow up. Like that, yeah. So
roll stinks.
Yeah, they spent a ton of time together.
Yeah.
Whether it was like study or, just chopping it up. And so he really, really likes him.
Mm-hmm.
And which, by the way, the other Danny King, Shane, I'm going to give you a number. I want you to call this young man and be like, hey, did you like the deer meat? Because he didn't call and say thank you. I sent a bunch of deer meat.
Come on, Danny King.
I sent a bunch of venison home with him.
Gratitude.
He doesn't. And knowing Caleb is probably still sitting in his back.
He never got it.
I took Caleb to this butcher shop because they were dying to see him.
Oh, yeah.
And
is it the pig place or the beef place?
It's local.
Yeah.
And it used to be my go-to before.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So it took him in to see the guys, and they're just throwing all sorts of stuff at him. And so he's looking around. He's just captivated. He's like, oh, they have this, and they have that, and they have this, and they have that. And I was like, yeah, man. He goes, man, he's sending pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, who are you sending that to? And he goes, Danny, man, he loves venison. And I had a roast that Jernigan gave me, like part of the shoulder. I don't know what, like, is it a roast? Like, what's the shoulder from anyway? So I had one of those vacuum sealed.
Mm-hmm. This
place had a couple of steaks, sent home a couple of sausages. So, because Danny King is one of those guys that's he's got a nice mature palate.
Okay.
So he's the only one that keeps them from eating freaking chicken fingers. And because I know freaking Donovan is like, he ain't cooking. Caleb just got introduced to an air fryer, so that's
all he's doing.
Oh, he's a pup.
That's all he's doing.
Well, I mean, what are we talking about? Like, he's over the training table. I'm like, how are you over the training table? But it happens.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're starting to put it together. I think they're almost done with the portal. You maybe have a big body or two. And then that should be about it.
Also, I think most people would like maybe one or two guys along the lines again.
Yeah.
Little reinforcements there. Although, and I don't know how to, you probably know how to say his last name here. The Iowa Western kid.
Yeah. Listen, so.
Is it Burburia?
Yeah. Again, I've watched them close.
Yeah.
And he's
playmaker.
Gonna be ready to go pretty soon. And how about Coach Brown having familiarity with Iowa Western?
Yeah. It's ironic you have to go get a guy from Miami of Ohio to have familiarity with Iowa Western.
And it's ironic that Aaron Terry was
involved.
Yeah, I'm a big good things are going to happen to Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm biased though.
Yeah, I mean, you like the family.
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
But he's done an incredible job developing defensive linemen at Iowa Western.
Yeah, and his accolades, he's very particular in terms of how he throws around praise.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls him the best DT in the country, which I don't know if he meant at the JC level that he's seen, but he just doesn't talk like that.
Yeah.
He really doesn't.
That's honestly, that's kind of the one that out of the guys that have been mentioned, he's kind of the one I wanted the most.
Yeah, so maybe one more?
Yeah, I think if you get one more, although getting Parrott back helps a lot.
Well, again, you'll have natural 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Mm-hmm. I do think I'd feel better with one more. Just give me one more.
You want an
inside
guy.
Yeah.
So anywhere from a 0 to a 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel better with one more inside guy. I think with McGahee back, still have Cam Lenhart with Winery.
McGahee when they're ideal under over ends.
Yeah.
If you get in an over and under front.
Yeah. So I like my options.
And all that means is you're putting the 3 tech or the 1 away from or to the strength. Under and over. So it's
I think I like my options a little bit better on the outside. So like give me one more inside guy. I'll feel pretty good.
Well, you have some big, strong edge setters now.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, so
I like what they did which is important because I like what they did in the linebacker room.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
right?
I do too.
So if you got the edge setters, that gives your linebacker some freedom to operate and make
Shout
plays.
out Coach Orich, Coach Manning.
He did a nice interview with Jess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love to give her any credit.
Oh no, I was giving him credit,
but she's very
she did a good job
at what do I always tell? She's very disarming.
Yeah.
Which is why she's good with student athletes.
Kind of taking the temperature
sometimes
down.
They're
revving a little high.
Or they don't give you a ton. And
Yeah.
she could knock out like a 20, 22-minute interview with a player.
Mm-hmm. Which is hard.
Yeah.
For a lot of guys, that's really hard.
So yeah, he was really good.
He was good. She had good with Jeep Wade too.
Yeah. I almost went with Jeep today.
Yeah.
I almost went with Jeep. But I could not go with Coach Hoiberg.
What was his line that I think is gonna end up on a t-shirt? Simple, fast, violent?
Yeah.
Yeah. We should make that a t-shirt.
Simple, fast, violent.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all it needs to say.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple.
I'm like,
violent.
you know what, Coach Hoiberg? I can't even believe it was a second thought. You should have been first and foremost.
Oh, he's got to be.
Yeah, so I put old Coach Wade back in the backseat.
He could be here tomorrow.
I set him down gently. I didn't toss him.
We need one. I think we need one more on his side too.
So there's a spot for a third head, but I don't want to buck what we've been doing.
No, I just
Although
meant
we've gone 75 since the heads. Should we
maybe we
switch
change
it up
a little bit?
Well, I'd have to. Will you share your side?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you
absolutely.
have that big 1989 Atari plug-in. Can we get
I got the block.
Can we get a different
Nope,
plug-in?
it's my old school. We're sticking with it. We
It's
like
like
it.
Sega Genesis.
Yep.
I mean, they have they have grown since.
I like the. I'm a big Game Boy guy. I like the original.
handheld.
Yeah, the no color, just like the brick. You remember those things?
Yeah.
Like the old school one.
Says the guy that got a gaming console that's basically an HDMI plug-in that plays all old games.
Dude, those are fun. I've seen
Got
those.
it from TikTok.
Are the
If the remotes were a little
like the controllers?
Yeah. It's too hard for me to
Really?
Yeah.
Because they look cool. I've thought about buying one of
No,
those.
the game it's legit.
Really?
So what you see on the advertisements are the games you
Yeah.
get. It is legit.
The controllers just aren't great.
In maybe over time they'll give me more options for the controllers.
Yeah.
But like I could play Contra tomorrow if I want to, or NCAA or Bill Walsh or
That's
Coach K.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I have a mini real Sega too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a Genesis?
Yeah, like it's the size of.
Oh, it looks like probably like a little Roku almost, or like a little Apple TV.
It's little.
Yeah, nice. Dude, I like those a lot.
Yeah.
I like some of those old school
But
games.
the remotes are so. I need more body. Like I'm heavy-handed. And
Yeah.
fingered.
So you like the newer controllers better?
I
'cause
like.
they're a little bigger.
I like the controllers that I need.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it just feels a little like when I press it now, I want it to be now.
Yeah.
I almost feel like
You might have a little delay there on some of those.
it's probably just in my head.
What I meant though is I meant another guy in Jeep's room. Not that we need another head, but we can do that too.
Yeah.
I'll take one more guy in his room.
I think it'll be a big Teasley guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
That's who I wanted to do a sit down with.
Lonnie?
Yeah. And she'll get him.
Yeah, we'll get Lonnie up here.
She'll get him.
I think it'll be good. No, I think which, not to say that's going to happen. Another South Carolina lineman went in the portal yesterday over the weekend as well. So we'll see maybe if
Can't get them all though.
No, I think just one more.
Yeah, because you have some young guys that are about ready.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about the offensive line,
especially interior.
Yes, I would take another tackle if they could get one more tackle. I'd be happy
because it is.
But they've got a ton of guards that I think are going to be fine.
I am ready. I am officially almost ready for the Peter Gabriel sledge
hammer
time. I'm
ready for sledge. I think I'm getting about ready for bricks. Want to see what we got there?
I don't know enough.
Okay.
I don't know enough.
That would be one where I look at as He was a high-profile prospect.
So no hot takes, no hot take market.
You want to see him get developed. Like, that's a guy that I think it would be important if he's ends up being good.
Yeah.
Like, for the future of recruiting at the position and things like that.
I
think that would be good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very, very, and we'll get to it. They've got a couple of new guys in the, what is it, Shiggs?
And
so you got Shiggs, McDougal, and you got one safety and
Evans,
two corner, one nickel-ish type.
Yeah.
So that room is done.
Yep. Especially with Tarver coming back.
Yeah. Although, I mean, that corner, those corners, something's gonna have to shake out.
Yeah.
Something's gonna have to shake out.
I mean, it's only so many spots.
Correctamundo.
Yeah. So just wait. So Evans is a corner. Who's the other corner? They just brought in
Shiggs
the one.
is a safety corner type.
Oh,
he's a smaller guy.
Okay.
But he will tackle. I mean, he played 2 years at Towson.
So kind of a this might be too linear, but like a little Hartzog replacement.
Potentially.
Yeah. Can do kind of both.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it a little more.
Yeah.
Because the thing that I like about what Towson did is they played against a lot of teams that were better than them.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me a good. I'm not one of those guys that will look at where a guy came from and make any.
Be like, oh, it's Towson, or oh, it's Bama.
Yeah, so I just look at who they. Right.
Yeah.
Because even sometimes to the good, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything.
Because there's a reason they're leaving.
Yeah. So I like to.
I
like to watch.
I think it's an interesting case study.
That almost worked against a guy like. Remember how slow we were to come around on like MJ Sherman?
Oh yeah.
We thought, well, Georgia. I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah. And then it took him some time.
It just took time, but he turned out to be pretty good. But
yeah, but it took a minute.
Yeah.
I think that was a big deal with Pritchett.
I think people have their mind made up on Rhett.
I think that was a big deal with Pritchett too.
100%.
Is like, hey, he started at Bama last year. Like, come on. Like,
it's kind of how I look at the D line hire, because I wouldn't have been. I mean, whether you got a guy from a junior college or whether you got a guy from the MAC or
yeah, but you look at Miami, Ohio, and you go
wherever else. I look at
sure.
So the big thing I've changed over the last 10, 12 years, and the guy I was just talking about, Coach. I think a bigger deal than, especially as I see all these coaches come from other places in football, different levels,
and be successful.
I mean, there's an NFL coach that I'm watching that's going to play next week in Seattle that, in essence, came from high school. So that's his deal.
Yeah.
Or I've just seen evolution come from other places. I mean, were you thinking IUP, Elon, James Madison, national championship?
No.
Yeah. So I'm not married to where guys come from.
Sure. Yeah.
What I do like is how you work with everybody else. When I look at Lenzer or Ziegler, because that staff got shuffled in and out. Mac was losing coach after coach after coach in like a 5-year stretch.
Yeah, year after year after year.
He kept having to So I think that's more important than like the label of where you came from. So that's what I'm going to be watching. Because when I watch the way that he teaches and that he's familiar with Orich, you don't have to micromanage that. Like, hey, I want violent this or my foot this, or like you know how
there's a shorthand.
You know how the quicker you can coach shorthand verbiage, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times year one may be language. Then year two is, oh, hey, now that we can use shorthand. And then year three is you're using shorthand, or whatever the duration is, it takes time. The quicker you can do that, like familiarity with Manning and Brown and Orich will help.
Yeah.
Right? Because even good teachers that have to teach and they're learning somebody else's verbiage, like when Tollefson was helping at the bowl game.
Yeah.
Right. If he can just do his own thing, hey, this is what I learned. Like it'll be quicker than if, hey, is this cool? Is that right? But there's the getting to know you period, right? So sometimes that stuff just takes time before you actually see what somebody is super capable of.
I think a lot of times when we just don't know, we lean on where they came from.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's our fallback when it's like, I didn't watch Towson. not going to pretend like I did. So I go, would have rather gotten a guy from a Power 4 or, a really successful group of 5.
Mm-hmm.
But as we've seen, there's a lot of good players at that level. There's a lot of good coaches at that level.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'll be honest.
Sometimes you almost have to be, I don't want to say better, but you have to be a different kind of coach sometimes based on how you're leveling up.
I also, and I've seen this, and so this is more basketball than football, but I think it applies everywhere. A lot of where you start has to do with where you played.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of this, and it happens with coaches too. I always usually talk about it with players and opportunity. I mean, sometimes you just need somebody to do what?
Believe in you.
Believe in you.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you need somebody to blow a little air in your sails.
Absolutely.
And I'm a huge fan of the more mature person should go first. Because what I hate, and we do this as fans sometimes, I'll look at something and I'll say, well, if he's competitive, he'll just, or the situation doesn't matter. Like if he competes, he's just going to compete. And I started thinking about it over the last handful of years, and I'm like, you know what? You know what really bugs me is stop putting the pressure on the second person to mount up. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
As opposed to me looking at a player and saying, hey, man, if you're competitive, like you'll just blank. And I should be saying, hey, man, it's my job to coach you into what I want you to be.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's my job to coach you into what I want you to be. So, but coaches do that to players all the time. Well, if he's competitive, he'll do blank. No, how about you put him in her in an advantageous situation so you can get the best? Because it's hard to ask. It's hard to ask a 50-year-old to function at an ideal level all the time when they don't feel like it.
In adverse conditions.
Oh, yeah. And Lord knows I'm capable of making some really stupid impromptu decisions, right? Just because of how I feel.
Yeah.
So if
it's capable of a 50-year-old, what's it look like for a 19-year-old?
Somebody said, hey, let me put you in a good spot here so I don't have to make you make a choice.
Yeah.
Same as.
And then if you still choose to make a bad decision, that's on you.
Yeah. Right. But give me the opportunity to have success.
Put me in a good spot first.
Put me in a good spot.
Yeah.
So, but as coaches, sometimes we do that to players. And I think it's the coach's responsibility to put the players in the most advantageous spot as possible so they can function. So you don't have to, because then what we do is we'll judge how they react.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're not helping.
Exactly.
Like, why make this as difficult on me as possible just so you can see me every now and again or situationally? I don't have any problems with it.
Yeah.
Because I do think you need to be able to build some resolve and rigor, and I would like to see you fail a couple times. But don't intentionally do that or pull the rug from under me and then grade me on it.
Right. Especially, I think there's like a process to this.
I do too.
Right? Like I think the testing failure should come later.
Yeah, after you feel like they're fairly equipped.
Yeah, after you've helped them become equipped, right? When you put them in positions to be successful. Like if there's a guy in your secondary, you're like, hey, I think he sort of struggles in space, but I think he's really good on the boundary.
Yeah.
Right? You say, hey, I'm going to only put him on the boundary until I feel like I've equipped him to play in space.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's a good example.
You know what I mean?
We've talked about
that's
that
a real life thing.
We talked about
right? And so
they got him to function at a really, really high level by narrowing what they're asking him to do. Hey, you are a boundary corner. Just do that.
And did that pretty well.
And we saw what happened.
Right? But there's going to be a time where they're like, hey, let's try and ask you to do a little bit more and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
And that may or may not work, and you may have to kind of dial it back and say, okay, well, let's stick with this thing that we know you're good at. But I do feel like it's the obligation, and I realized this in real time while you were talking. This is one of the reasons I stopped coaching, is because I'm not good at that. I'm not good at, like, I'll put it on the player. I'll be like, well, I need you to be self-motivated. I need you to be this. I need you to be that. I need you to be competitive. And then if you're not willing to do that, I have a hard time meeting you somewhere else.
Which is funny. I love the self-awareness because I asked you when you were describing your ideal quarterback and who you wanted to bring in.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, so are you just going to find that guy? And you go, no. Well, as long as you just tell them what they're dealing with, what you need, I think those guys are out there.
Yeah.
So what did you preface it by saying?
As long as I tell them.
Yeah.
And then
whose I? Is it it's the more adult person, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Right. It's on the responsibility of the person to like set expectations, which I was good at that. I was very good at be like, hey, this is what I expect from you. But if you weren't there, I had a really hard time going back to get you.
Yeah.
You know, and that I think is tricky for honestly, if I had to guess, and I do not know, so I want to make that very clear. If I had to guess, I think that's probably the thing Butler struggled with the most because I don't think you have to do that in the NFL to the same degree.
Setting the expectation of the
well, not just setting the expectation, but also going back to get the guys that weren't there yet. Because in college, you need some of those guys. Yeah. You need some of the guys that aren't there yet.
I agree.
Right?
I 100% agree. Because I think sometimes too often we say, we'll look at a situation and be like, well, that guy can't do this. And then you put him on the shelf.
Yes.
You're just not really afforded that luxury. I think
with college kids, especially.
College kids, for sure.
NFL, like, you're just like, well, I'll go get somebody else.
Go get another one.
I'll go get somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guys that physically are capable of what you're capable of. Let me go get somebody else.
You know who's benefiting from that in a different sport?
Who's that?
Like this is what we need, flourish in this role.
What's that?
Frager.
Oh, yeah. Because if you ask too much of him right now, he would struggle.
And if you put him someplace else with other people, you may not get
this version.
Just had this conversation with some people that know in the recruiting world about Frager getting late run from Michigan State and Izzo's assistant that was recruiting Frager.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to this person, and I'm like, you know what, though? Here's the thing. It's not apples to apples.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good spot.
It's not so much that as much as the message from Fred and Big Easy and Nate is specific, and it's particular to what he needs.
Yeah.
Right? So then when he receives that, it's like, oh, okay, this is my relationship I have with them. This is how I'm rocking.
Yeah.
You may not get that other place. I say this all the time with interviews. People may sound different with me or you or us or Shane or whatever than they will someplace else because of playing to their strengths or or not playing to their strengths.
Or being able to be disarming or whatever.
That's adults.
Yeah. You know, you mentioned basketball and Frager. One of the things, and I've said this for a long time, one of the things I always loved about the Spurs organization, and I know you don't like that, but the Spurs organization and what Popovich did well was they would always ask, what can this guy do versus what is he not capable of? So they would find a guy like Danny Green or Thiago Splitter or whoever, some guy that nobody else wanted. I mean, Danny Green literally got cut by half the teams in the league before he landed on the Spurs.
Shane, bold Josh's comment. I know it's long, but bold it so I can read it because this may read into Ravi's point.
But the ability to say, hey, this guy can do this, and if I only ask him to do this, he will be successful. As opposed to saying, well, you know, and I always use Danny Green as an example because he's an easy one. But you say, well, he can't really create off the dribble. He's not a good ball handler, not a great passer. It's like, yeah, but he can shoot the ball and he can play defense. If I ask him to just shoot the ball, open, set shots.
Why do you think that's so hard?
Because I think we always want more.
Or I think sometimes with coaches, you just think, I mean, you have your irrational confidence in terms of,
oh, I can teach him to do this.
Yeah, we see that with quarterbacks.
Or, yes, we
all the time
do see it with quarterbacks all the time. We also, I think there is a self-awareness as a coach too. And this goes back to identity, which is something that I give Hoiberg a ton of credit for, both offensively and defensively, finding like a firm identity for this team, is if you don't know exactly what you need guys to do more than they're capable of.
Funny you should say that. Shane, bold Josh's question because it is legit. So this is long. It says, Nebraska been giving all kinds of people chances for years when they need somebody to believe in them, coaches and players alike. Feels more of the same. We always miss. Works out great every single time. In some ways, it does matter where people come from. How else do you know that they are ready to make real progress here with some level of guarantee? Or are we just flipping a coin and hoping? Josh, that is a beautiful segue.
Totally fair question.
Legit fair.
Absolutely.
Like this legit, right?
Yeah. 100% fair.
What'd you just say, though, about the knowing what you want the end thing to look like?
Yeah, so that's the key, is you have to have, and that's honestly, that's the thing that I think Curt Cignetti is probably the best at.
It is.
That's his superpower.
I agree.
Like, that's his superpower.
I agree. He talks all the time about specific things.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he wants it to look like. So he'll look at a guy
and be able to tell.
And that's why he has a high success rate in terms of talent.
That's why we think he's an incredible talent evaluator.
So to Josh's point, the closer Nebraska gets to knowing what they want to be and what they want it to look like, it will be less of a coin flip.
Can I make a
and you can ask me follow-ups, Josh, just because
that's a good question.
It's a great question.
Because he's right.
He's 100% right.
Yeah.
We never know what we want. I always talk about drawing with markers or pencils or and maybe I'm supposed to be airbrushing. Maybe you want an airbrushed photo and you don't tell me.
Yeah.
So here I am. I'm like, well,
you're with your colored pencils.
I can only really draw with fine points.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm
not a fat marker guy. Yeah. I don't like dull crayons.
So you think you did a great job.
I'm like, okay, hey, you want the skyline. Here it is. And they're gonna look at it and they're like, oh man, this sucks. I'm like, God, this is the best I can do.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, I wanted it airbrushed. And I'd be like, oh, why didn't you
Or
tell
they're
me?
like, I wanted a 3D architectural rendering. When I said drawing, that's what I meant.
Yeah, so I don't know, and it used to always drive me crazy because we would compare development to these schools like Wisconsin and Iowa. And I'm like, guys, but they know what they want the end game to look like. They can get a 6'6", 265-pound lineman out of Eau Claire
and know exactly
what he's going to look like.
3 years, what that's going to look like.
So where we had failed with hires and staffs and players is we were still kind of crap shooting on what we wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to roll my eyes at the whole identity thing. I swear to goodness, I used to.
I think it might be the most important thing.
But I still will say this. Mm-hmm. It has to start with how you want to go to work every day.
Sure, but that's part of for me, that's part of the identity.
But we couldn't figure out how we wanted to go to work.
Yeah. But again, to me, that's part of the identity. I think when some people say identity, they think offensive system, defensive system, right? And if it's just about that, you're right. It's overrated. It's not.
That's a good point. That's fair.
It's not without value if it's just those things, but it is overrated. Yeah. When you're talking about how we go to work, when you're talking about, that other dreaded word we always talk about, culture, when we're talking about offensive system and defensive system, and all of those things have an identity. I think there's been times where the coaches in the past, because somebody asked, how do we still not know? Fair question. There's been too much turnover, and it changes every time, right? B, I think there's been guys that have pieces of it. Like, Bo Pelini knew exactly what he wanted his defense to look like, right?
Can I give an explanation real quick?
Absolutely.
Just off the top of my head?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to go to I'm going to go to I'll go each coach because I've thought about this a ton.
Yeah.
So from two gapping to not, changing from Big 12 to Big 10, transition for Bo. In wanting to find that, lost a couple D-line coaches, lost linebacker coach, lost a secondary coach, still trying to play in the conference. Meanwhile, you're transitioning offensively with how you want to play at the quarterback spot. So you go from back to – anyway, there's that. Mm-hmm. Riley comes in. He's got a new OC. They don't understand quarterback run game, but they're looking with guys that they have at the roster.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, we've got to go study. We got this guy, Tommy Armstrong. We have 3 different looking quarterbacks on this roster. The rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The next guy comes in, and he's power spread, right? He thinks he has this quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It looks okay. In the meantime, the one guy that he had which kind of helped them the first 2 years, the dirty little secret is Chenander defensively bought Frost's offense some time while he was fluctuating back and forth between Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the defense stabilized. The last year of Chin's, like, they needed to make the next jump.
And they couldn't.
Yeah. But the offense was still in flux because you didn't have the right pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward to Coach, and I'm not giving you, remember, the difference between an excuse and an explanation is ownership. Now, the staff has to own the fact that they were kind of coin flipping. Coach Rhule went with stability first, right? This is how I want to implement my program. These are the guys I'm taking with me.
That's the how you go to work part. I think
it is. It absolutely is.
I think he chose the first staff on how we want to go to work identity.
Exactly. Okay.
And we didn't like what that looked like on the field, but
then
still, go ahead.
He makes his change with the OC, but you still have this quarterback that you think has got all these gifts, and he does, but philosophically, does it fit with how you want to play? That was always the disconnect on offense. He has these strengths, but I'm not sure how this rides with how I want to play in
what we want to do versus what we need.
And he always kept saying that, right? He always.
That's all I was going to say.
And then defensively, you think you have a guy. You like this system. You like the way they practice. You like what's going on. For whatever the reason,
moves on.
He's got to go someplace else. He wants to go someplace else. You try to smooth landing it as best you can.
With internal.
You did not get it right. So you have to start over. I don't think – I'm not telling you like, oh, be okay with it. But when you're kind of searching and grabbing and reaching for straws, that's why it seems – to Josh's point, that's why it seems like a coin flip. That's why it seems like we can ask the question, how do you not know? So I'm willing to open myself up to be wrong again and say, all right, Coach Rhule has all these attributes that I like. He's this, he's that, he's this. I'd like to see him tweak this. I wouldn't do that, but you can tweak this. If that fits your personality, you do you. I don't want you to be, I mean, you have your own image. You can play to that, but I still think he's figuring it out. I do.
Yeah.
We right, wrong, or indifferent. He's not, 66 years old in the cut, Cignetti with 6 confidants with him, right? And that's going to probably be about the last time I make the comp. But I did say last week or 2 weeks ago, the methodology for Sig is portable.
There are things that are
his methodology is absolutely portable.
Now you may not get the immediacy of the results that he got, but there are things that you can take.
Okay, so again, Josh is rolling this morning. Josh, you may be okay. Shane, can you bold his second comment? Because this is a lot of people. So he says, but we don't have Curt Cignetti. He is a serious 1 in a million.
Agree.
That's what's – hang on.
Sorry.
That's what scares me to death. I feel like we're playing the lottery too much at this point. I don't see identity. I don't see the university wanting to win. Fair. But let me – hang on.
Okay.
Just the perception. Just the perception of what – on the surface of what Josh is saying, do you feel like – is there much to pick at?
The one thing that I would bristle at a little bit is I do think the university has shown an enormous investment in wanting to win.
Fair. They do want to win.
That's all.
Now let me.
That's all I'm going to push back on there.
Let me give you the answer to what I. Again, I'm going to cheer for who's at the top until I think they're ill-equipped to get the job done.
Okay, that's fair.
Just how I am.
I think that's totally fair.
Right. So. What I think the thing is, Josh, Shane, you got to bold it again for me because I don't have my. He says, but so some of Cignetti himself is 1 in a million. The traits that he exudes are not. It is resolve, conviction, and getting the right people in the building. He almost always starts with getting the right people in the building. So. While Coach Rhule, this is just my opinion from the outside in, what would you guess is kind of the one thing in stark contrast that you've seen him change the most this time around with the coaching hires?
I want to say experience.
I'm not here to say right or wrong. I'm just going to let you keep going.
That was the biggest thing for me. It seems like he's taking fewer, not flyers, but risks on guys that haven't had this job before.
So I would say, you agree with this or not? More like-minded, stylistically people in the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Josh, that's a fancy way for me to say I think he's trying to pull a Cignetti-esque type thing with getting people in the building that can carry out his message. Because the one thing that Coach Cignetti doesn't have to worry about in that building right now is being the last to know. He's not the last to know. He's got a bunch of lieutenants that are coming back to him on the regular with how that building is running, and nothing catches him off guard. When you are secure with all your lieutenants, I don't know how it goes. Are they lieutenants?
Sure.
Are they the ones that are like right below you that carry out the deal?
I think so.
When your lieutenants have the exact same message as you stylistically and what they want, you can continue to drive home the message. But when you're spread a little thin and you have to put out this fire and put out this fire and put out this fire, and you're not experienced enough with where you are, you're going to get what Nebraska's gotten. The ups and downs and the EKG of they look like this 1 minute and not. So what I think he's really made a concerted effort of doing this time around is getting the right ideology. Now, it's not unity, T-Mac. So hear my heart. He says, DB, I thought we were past the unity of message thing. It's not necessarily unity of message as much as it is stylistically. Here, listen to what I said about the losing of Cooper and Tony White and having Dana Holgerson paired with Dylan Raiola's skill set. That is a real thing. It is disjointed by design, like just by its nature, just of how it unfolded. It's disjointed. So I think the overcorrection or the correction this time around is to be as like-minded, singularly focused in the building as possible, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, I think so.
That's just my opinion, T. So, like, I get this. The 1 in a million part of Cignetti is the experience in the dudes that he brought in that building to run that building.
And I think his ability to execute what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I do think you could run.
He said something. I hate to use it, but I got to. Shane, how long is that Cignetti clip I sent you?
Yeah, it's a little
minute 13?
Yeah, something like that. You want it?
I want you to listen for a minute and 13 seconds.
Okay.
You can only take away one thing that I think is the most important thing relative to how you have to run college football.
All right, let's hit it.
You ready?
Yep.
How many cracks at it do you want me to give you? All right, Stream, you can play along too.
Give me 2.
2 cracks? All right. Do we have anything that we can give away?
I'm sure we can get a
gift card,
next gen T-shirt or something for him.
Okay, yeah.
Let's get a next gen T-shirt.
All right. If you got the first person in the stream that can tell me what I'm going to write it down, what I think is crucial that nobody else says out loud other than Cignetti. First person that can get it, we're going to give you some next gen swag. All right, Shane, let it rip.
It's a process, and it's a way you go about doing things. It's a standard. It's an expectation. High standard, high expectation. It's accountability, right? It's discipline, commitment, toughness, work ethic, pride. It's wanting to be great versus wanting to be normal. And, normal kind of equals average. And average is okay. There's no problem with average, except in my business. My business, average is the enemy. And to be great, you got to have special focus, special commitment, special preparation, and discipline, and the ability to say no to some things. All right? So you stack great days on top of each other. You play the game the way we want to play the game, one play at a time, 6 seconds a play. Every play's got a life and a history of its own. Play every play like it's nothing. Don't be affected by success or failure. Be able to compartmentalize and go to the next play. Playing it the same way. Because what happens then? You get to the end of the game, game's on the line. You're used to practicing that way, playing that way, right? You're just doing your thing. That guy's looking at the scoreboard, and he's like, tightening up a little bit. You win those games.
Somebody already got it.
So the first one that sticks out to me, and because of the Nebraska situation, is ability to say no.
Correct. Absolutely correct.
So I think Husker.
It might have been Josh.
There was one right before him. Husker, X's and O's. was right before him.
The ability to say no sometimes.
Oh, actually, L. Walls was before that one.
Like, that's it.
L. Walls, I think, is our first ability to say no.
That's the ability to say no.
L. Walls, hit us in the DMs somewhere.
I'm just like, that is so crucial.
Can I?
Are you knew right away? You're like, what? Because I always talk to you. I've told you about this coach and that coach, and
I didn't even think of a coach. That wasn't the first thing I thought of. That wasn't the first thing I thought. And I'm not being a hater, I swear to God. The first thing I thought of is, and it's probably a little different when you start with Satterfield as the OC when this happens, but I think if he had it to do over again, I think he would look at Dylan and say, I don't know that that's a good fit for what we want to do.
The ability doesn't matter what it is, the ability to say no. Sometimes it's player to player, sometimes it's coach to player. Like, because, anything's permissible, not all is beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think the more conviction and resolve that you have, the less willing you are to compromise, right? Yep. You're less willing to watch a slow erosion because you're waiting for a really talented player to do and be what you want him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to be able to say, look, you don't like Matt Drills? You're a top-end guy. This is a non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm. Your best players have to do all the things you're asking everyone else to do.
Sometimes you just have to have the ability to say no. And it doesn't matter what, and it's hard too, especially when you care about people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes telling them no is the best thing for them.
Absolutely.
So, but to Phantom Husker's point, yes and no, because, at the end of the day, and we had somebody ask me this a couple weeks ago, because it doesn't always have to be philosophical. When you're struggling with identity, it
starts there.
Starting with the philosophy.
Has to.
I don't even think that that's a non-negotiable. Now, to Phantom Husker's point, he says, which I disagree with, it's not philosophical, but you have to coach better too.
100%.
So,
but I think you coach better when you start with the right philosophy.
Yep.
Like, it's a lot easier. Like, if everybody's on the same page.
And you have more control. Yeah, like.
Philosophically.
Yeah,
then it gets a lot easier.
He's not wrong. You do have to coach better.
But I think they're more connected than he thinks they are.
100%.
Let's get to our next guest, Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald, our Monday regular. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
Really good. Sometimes, matches, like Silas was disappointed. Even Christopher was disappointed how he wrestled, but things are going to happen. It ain't going to be a blowout all the time, and it's not going to be perfect. And that's why it's called wrestling, right? Someone's going to score on you once in a while, and, Christopher didn't make a great decision there, and he got, turned for two, kind of turned himself, really. But, that's how you learn. And he came back and made it up with getting a late takedown. So really good. And he looked good. Our conditioning is pretty good, and we'll keep sharpening that area up. So I got.
She was National Defensive Player of the Year last year, so it's not like she's just coming on the scene. But I think she's always been a unicorn in how she's been able to move laterally at her size. But last year, she didn't really have the confidence that she could get out on shooters and switch out on guards and keep them in front. And I just kept telling her this year, like, we can help you if by chance you get beat, but you never do get beat. But nobody can help you if you don't get out and extend yourself and take away threes. And I just think she's really like, wow, I can really do this. I think she would give a lot of credit to our strength coach, Coach Ash. I think he has really done a phenomenal job of breathing life into who she already is and helping her grow in her athleticism, her strength. But I think it's much more of a mental thing than it is a physical thing, that she really believes she can do it now.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, great. How are you guys?
Sam, how are you, buddy?
Good.
Our
team's in the divisional playoffs, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I have this ridiculous group chat.
Hey, mine too, Sam.
Sam and Robbie's
And Damon's got to play tonight.
I know.
So
here's the deal. Padilla is a Packers fan. Matt DeMarinis is a Texans fan. Ravi's a San Francisco fan. And I, of course, am a Steelers fan. This isn't quite meatloaf, but I need 3 out of 4 to not be bad. Because some's got to give. And I just don't want it to be the Steelers in this one, man. I am on – your boy is on – can you say the PINS word for me?
Oh, pins.
Pins
Yeah.
and needles. Not pens. I'm on pins and needles.
You did a really great job there.
Shut up. How about your Bears, though?
What?
Do you like Resolve?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love it. It's kind of who they've been all year, right? So this has been their personality all season. They don't play well early. They find a way late. And I like that more than the opposite. So, I think kind of going through this season has been really interesting because you kind of have to wait through all 60 minutes. Like the game early is the Bears did a lot of mistakes, but they've done that all season. And then with the exception of the Eagles game where they were pretty dominant from start to finish, and you just kind of wait and wait and wait, and they kind of figure it out. And, they've found a way. And to do it against the Packers is especially sweet because this has been a very one-sided rivalry since Brett Favre got there.
And apparently your head coach embraces it too.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty one-sided before Brett Favre got there. I know, he does. I know.
I kind of enjoy beating LaFleur.
Well, and then the fact that the Bears would include in their social media feed after the game, what he said about the Packers too, is just, they're obviously going to embrace this. And I think they're going to go in it head on instead of being sheepish about it. They'd probably be sheepish if Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers are there. Jordan Love isn't as good as those two guys. He's very good, but he's not that good.
Will that shtick play in the NFL when a coach goes on? You don't see it often at all. I mean, Ben Johnson's kind of painting himself in a corner.
You don't. I don't think that there's many rivalries like the Bears and the Packers in the NFL in the terms of intensity and history, and also the Packers owned the Bears for years and years and years, like since Brett Favre got there. So like since 93 or 94, I don't know how many they've won, 80%. And so it's almost like, and if you talk to other fans of teams in that division, there aren't many Lions fans around the region, but there are a lot of Vikings fans, maybe as many of those as Bears fans. We all feel the same way about the Packers. So this is not, Ben Johnson isn't saying that and then just kind of speaking for himself and the guys on that team. He's speaking for entire teams and divisions. We all feel that way. We all do. We all feel that way about the Packers. We felt that way for a long time. The Packers have earned their success. They have a great franchise, and they had 2 back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and an amazing feat that I don't know has been duplicated anywhere else in NFL history, where you've had 2 Hall of Famers back-to-back uninterrupted. But those 2 personalities in particular created a lot of animosity between the Packers and everyone else in that division. And so at this point, it's kind of almost like a release for a whole bunch of people. Like Dan Campbell and Kevin O'Connell aren't going to be like, yeah, they're not going to come out and say that, but they're going to give a little nod because Everybody feels that way. And again, the Packers are a great franchise. I have a lot of respect for them. But their coach has got a certain personality too. And so it just, it's a turning of the tide in that division if the Bears can do this. And the other teams will come along with them. I mean, the Lions started this, and the Vikings will come along and all the rest. It's a big deal. And I don't love the Bears' chances this weekend, but they're at home, and so they'll have a pretty good chance of trying to pull off what I think is an upset of the Rams.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Sam's
he's our coach. He's going to be our coach for a long time.
Boy, he's confident. He's very confident. I'm trying to figure out if I could, like Chuck Noll would have said that about Sam Rutigliano or, Dan Reeves to Landry or, Hank Schramm might have said it. Or Tomlin about Harbaugh. Like it doesn't, you don't see that often at all in the NFL.
No, you don't. I would just argue that this is the moment where it makes some sense because of the history and the positioning of that division. It would make no sense for Mike Tomlin to say anything because that's the best team in that division and has been for a long time. That is the signature franchise of the AFC Central and now the AFC North. So it would make no sense. The Packers are the signature franchise of the NFC Central / North. And they needed some, and then the Lions kind of started it, and now Ben Johnson's got his own team, and he's doing the thing. And it's gutsy. And his quarterback is, going to go along with him, I think, and that's helpful. But DJ Moore said it after the first game, the regular season game when the Bears won. He said it. So they've been saying it all year, and they finally just unleashed it during the playoffs for the public to consume.
I'm going to add one more NFL thing before we move to, because I want to get to basketball and football, and I know we're on the clock, and I actually kind of want to get to the border regions with UNMC too, Sam. Well, I don't have it. There's not a lot of people I can talk to that get it. Right?
Not me.
Okay.
You call our news reporters.
All right. Well, maybe I won't ask you about UNMC and the border regions.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, man. Send me Julie's number. I'll hit her up.
Okay.
So my other NFL deal is with Harbaugh laying in the cut and him saying, "Hey, listen, there's only a handful. I'm going to be select with who I interview with." How many coaches in the league do you think were like, "Damn, I bet I'm on notice," that ordinarily wouldn't have thought so?
A couple. I think a couple of coaches should think about it. I don't know that there's any left in the playoffs. I'm trying to think through my mind here. I don't think there.
So
probably
the closest to Sirianni would probably be McDermott, but they won. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because McDermott kind of gets the Sirianni treatment without the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right. McDermott's a little bit more of a straight arrow. I mean, Sirianni's up and down.
Squirrely is the word I like to use.
He's gonna get burned out of Philly on his own. People just won't want to work with him anymore. I think that'll probably happen. I don't think it'll be the end of this season, but it'll be soon enough that they'll be like, you know what, we won a Super Bowl together. We've run our courts. Let's, good luck to you coaching, the Colts or whatever. So I thought maybe the Colts coach, right? So the owner there, right. So I thought maybe he would get removed but they haven't changed course. And then, obviously nothing's going to happen in the NFC North, and, Zach Taylor, he's staying on, which I'm happy for. But that would have been a spot. So it's almost like Baltimore let him go at a point where I don't know how many days after it was, a couple of days after, and people had already kind of announced their decision. So
you got to be
thinking, sit out.
You got to be thinking if Philly gets rid of Sirianni, Philly's in play, Miami's in play, New York's in play. You think it's got to be about the quarterback and GM for Harbaugh, right? After 18 years, you're not going to take some
Yeah, it's got to be organizational. I think.
project. It's got to be organizational thing first, right?
Right. I think he could sit out a year. I don't think the situation in Miami is great. And the Giants, if you really want, I mean, that's one of the
People don't mind
elite
working for that
franchises.
family, though.
No, it's one of the top franchises in the NFL in terms of prestige and all of that. But you're saddled with a GM that, he's probably on his way out. So you'd have to be willing to be in a situation where you knew that the guy you were paired with is probably going to be out, and you're going to have to hire your own GM and all of that. The Ravens had a special situation where they had a long-term coach and a long-term GM and a committed owner, and at the end of the day, they decided to part ways, and feels like they're choosing the quarterback over the coach. Lamar Jackson's got maybe 3 or 4 great years left. I don't know that it's beyond that. I don't see him playing until he's 42. So you've got to go ahead and maximize what you can get now. And it didn't seem like Harbaugh was willing to move on from the head coach or from the offensive coordinator, who might end up becoming a head coach himself. So, it was probably time for things to part, and they decided to sign Lamar Jackson. So they're committed to him, and they need to find a quarterback. They need to find a coach for him. Maybe it'll be the OC. I can't remember. Is he at the Chargers now? Greg Roman? Maybe it'll be him. It's got to be somebody that Lamar Jackson wants to play for.
Well, how about all the shine falling off Herbert? I mean, people are already 3/4 of the way out the door. Last night did not help. Last NFL from me, Sam, before we get to hoops and football. Who, in your opinion, is the best head coach remaining in the playoffs? And is it not either Shanahan or McVay?
No, it's Mike Vrabel. He's the best head coach.
Really?
Yeah, he's really, really good. And now he's got a quarterback. And now they're going to be.
So Vrabel gets ahead of
Patriots.
McVay?
Yes.
McVay won a Super
He's
Bowl
really
with.
good.
McVay won a
with
Super
Matt
Bowl.
Stafford?
Yeah,
they did. With Matt Stafford, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but Sam,
pretty good player.
But he got there with Goff. He made the deal. Stafford was left not for dead, but nobody. And believe me, and I'm passionate about this, Sam, because I feel like I had to defend Stafford for 15 years. But then he wins with the Rams, and it's like he's great now. So, wow, Vrabel jumps.
I mean, I'm biased. I'm taking Shanahan over everybody. What he's dealt with this year.
McVay used to be owned by Shanahan, but McVay is now starting to catch up in that series.
What the 49ers have dealt with this year, and for Shanahan to have this team where they're at, is unbelievable. I felt like they won the Super Bowl last night. That's how I felt. Like, honestly, with the way the season has gone.
For curveballs, and I like Vrabel.
I do too.
I mean,
I do too.
Tennessee would love to have him back.
I would. I wish the Browns would have fired Stefanski and hired him. I mean, I think he's really, really good. Like, great. If he had went to the Bears last year, they'd be the same team they are now, and maybe better. No, he's really good. He's a great head coach, and he had to do it with Ryan Tannehill and the young version of Malik Willis, who didn't really know much, and he didn't play. I think he was there when Jake Locker was there, and I mean they had no good quarterbacks. They obviously had Derrick Henry, but they got it done in a small market. Made it to an AFC title game in the era when the Chiefs were unstoppable, right? And that's not true anymore. Yeah, I mean, I to my chagrin, like I'm not a Patriots guy.
I am shocked, chagrin, and dismayed.
Yeah, I'm not. But yeah, I think they're going to the Super Bowl. So once they make the Super Bowl, let's just say for argument's sake, they make the Super Bowl, they play the Rams, and those two teams play each other. I'm happy to say the winner of that game's got the best head coach. So if it's McVay, most people would pick Sean McVay right now. I would pick Mike Vrabel. I think what he's done there to turn that franchise around, some of that's on Drake May, but some of that's on him too. Like he's a good coach. He understands situations. He makes the right decisions. The defense is way better. That would be, if I was picking and just picking one head coach and I had to pick one guy, he'd be the guy I'd pick over. Over McVay and Shanahan. I think those are probably 2 or 3.
Drake May out here running around like he runs the anchor leg of the 4x1.
He's a good player. He's a good player.
You see that option fake pitch out there? Just,
It's like what?
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He's a really good player, and he's an argument for it's okay to take a quarterback who's only started like 18 games in college. He started more than that, but that's an example of if Dante Moore comes out. Dante Moore's only got like 17 career starts, 18. Somebody will point to Drake May and they'll say, "Well, there's your Drake May to Mitch Trubisky." Like if you're going to take Dante Moore, then there's your argument. I think Moore should come back. Personally, after Friday night's game, I don't think that's a game that you want to go to the NFL on, but he'll do what he does, I suppose.
Sam, speaking of great coaches, it appears Nebraska's got one on the basketball side of things going 16-0. Probably not something anybody would have said even 2 full years ago at this point, but how surprised were you that they were able to get the sweep at Ohio State, at Indiana, when I think myself included, I thought they would split this one.
I'm surprised, but also impressed. And the team retains its character. I mean, they're very, very tough. And they in one game, they got a big lead and had to hold off a comeback. In the other game, they fell well behind and had to stage a comeback. Basketball is a game of runs. So the idea that somebody gets behind 15 or ahead 15, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it happens, but Nebraska ends up on the right side of both of those games, ended up on the right side of the Illinois game where there were runs, ended up on the right side of the K-State and Oklahoma games where there were runs. So that's 5 games now where really it came down to a couple of possessions. And Nebraska's 5-0 in those games. And then, the Michigan State game too. So they're 6-0 in those games. And that's a mark of good coach and a veteran team, and very confident, very old. They know what they're doing. And, they're the story of college basketball. It's going to take time for people to come around to it, but I think people are finally starting to come around to it now.
Sam, let me ask you something about, because sometimes when it behooves people, they want to compare Nebraska basketball to football in terms of what's possible. And sometimes it's a little revisionist. We forget that, 75% of the free world wanted Hoiberg out, and it took some patience from Trev. But the one thing I do think is interesting in the comp is Nebraska basketball and kind of the fan base, even like whether it's Alec, which I've never hear players do this. We've allowed ourselves to kind of fast forward and look ahead to Michigan. It seems tabooish in sports to start projecting records and games you'll be favored in. Are we just riding the wave because it's hoops, or do you think hoops is different than football? Because if we ever fast forwarded past an opener in Cincinnati, like people, I mean, you know how it would go, right? Like,
right.
It just would be unacceptable. What do you think the difference is?
Well, 16-0, and they've done it so many times now that I think people look at the Washington game and go, well, they're going to beat Oregon first. They're playing Oregon first. They're going to beat Oregon. I probably agree, but we'll see. And then they go to Northwestern, where they barely won last year, and then they play Washington, and then they play Minnesota. It won't surprise me if they lose at Minnesota. Minnesota's beaten Indiana and Iowa already in the barn. So that'll be a tough game. And, Northwestern's Northwestern, so they're challenging in their own gym. You got to take it one game at a time. But, I think the way that the NCAA tournament works and the way bracketology works, everybody's just starting to think about what it could look like in March.
Yeah, because one loss isn't it isn't like, ooh,
right.
Yeah.
Especially if it is, like, if it's to a team people respect. It's not a big
or
deal.
even an upset.
Right. Right.
Because you get so many cracks at it with basketball.
Yeah.
Right. They're probably only playing one NCAA tournament team in the next 4, and that's Minnesota. Minnesota's probably on the bubble. I have to look at the bracketology this week, but they're probably helped by the fact that they beat Iowa last week. But, like you start to look ahead and you start to think about what's possible, and could it be a 1 seed? Could it be a 2 seed? Could it be I think right now 3 is the floor, and 1 is this, that they could get to a 1. They're going to have to win a lot of games, but they could definitely get there, and they'll have to keep playing the way they're playing. They're probably going to lose along the way. That's just life. That'll happen. But are they headed for a historic season? It looks like it, just based on the way that they play. And here's the thing: Hoiberg, when he got here, made some mistakes in player acquisition, both transfers and freshmen, and then he changed his staff after, I think, the fourth year, and reoriented the strategy.
I mean,
And
who wouldn't take Sam Hoiberg over Cam Mack? Come on, Sam.
Right.
Isn't it bizarre?
You know, yeah. I mean, so he had to do the exact same thing. He did the exact same thing that Matt Rhule, I think, is in the process of doing. And one of the challenges in football versus basketball is it's a little easier in basketball to turn the ship around. Like if the ship's going in one direction, right, it's more like you're turning around a boat versus an aircraft carrier. And so Nebraska's football is more like an aircraft carrier, and you got to make a wide turn. You got to come around. And I think they hoped that they could do all these things with Dylan and to surround him with the right players and get the thing to 8 or 9 wins and get it over the top and then, move into the next era, where Dylan moves on to the NFL and you're beginning this pipeline of quarterbacks. But it didn't happen. And so now I think they have to reorient toward, hey, we're going to be good on the offensive and defensive lines. You see that Jeep Wade is completely remaking the offensive line. They've signed several guys, and several guys have gone. And then on the defensive side of the ball, on the defensive line, we'll see. They've got a couple. I think they still need another. But they're remaking the defense. I mean, they've added 3 linebackers, 3 defensive backs, 2 defensive linemen, if you include the Iowa Western guy.
And you
probably
do. I
want
think
to get
you do
another
have
defensive
to.
lineman.
Yeah, I think you do. You have to include him because he's close to being ready to go.
Mm-hmm. So they're probably going to have 9 guys that they expect to play right away, or nearly right away, because certainly everybody else they added, maybe not Will Hawthorne, maybe he won't play right away, but the other 2 linebackers, and the other defensive backs are all old, so they're coming here to play.
Yeah,
so
I don't,
8
I
new
don't
guys
know
on
about
defense.
that, Sam. McDougal, maybe. I don't know. That's going to be fascinating.
Well, the other guys, Evans is a senior.
Yeah, I know.
So what's he coming here to do?
I don't know. I've heard the. So here's what I think. I'm
saying if they're going to add a senior, he probably ought to play. Now, how's that?
Okay, I'll take that.
He's not coming back.
Because I do think they're going to be very leery of penciling guys in. Now you always want to hit the portal with that
intention,
deal, but the spending and where you get guys, I think, will matter too, right? It's not a flyer, but you got to look at the room and think, okay, we like these traits, but I don't know about putting anything in Sharpie. But I get the idea. I'm not even gonna argue with it, Sam. You're right.
So they're remaking it, right?
Yeah,
they're trying to change things, and they're certainly changing things on the offensive line, and that's fine. That's what I understood that they were going to do. However I feel about it, other people felt very strongly they needed to flip everything in that room. That appears to be what they're going to do. So they're trying, but it takes. Hoiberg was able to turn it around pretty quickly because basketball is a much smaller roster. In football, it's going to take a little bit more time. But I think, given the schedule they have, they need the quarterback to be really good, whether it's Calandria or Latif or Kalen. And let's just assume that if Calandria is the starter, he could get hurt. He could get banged up. It's possible in the Big Ten. Take a hit. He's got to miss a game. Somebody else has got to play. So you can't just have one quarterback. We learned that this year with Dylan. So they're going to have to have a deep roster, good roster, have to play hard. I don't know that they're going to be, 10-2, but they could get to 8-4, and they could be a character 8-4, and then you go from there. But this is a process of they're retooling it. They're not resetting it. They're not putting a brand new boat in the water, but they're kind of turning the boat a little bit, and it's going to take an off season to do it, and fans are not going to be terribly patient, but they probably ought to be based on what Hoiberg was able to do over the course of 3 years at Nebraska, because now he's got that thing set up, and when they go out into the portal in April, regardless of how they finish this year, let's say they get to the second round and they get upset by the 7 seed, they're going to go back out into the portal and go, hello, we're a 30-win team. what would you like to do with us? And there's going to be guys that are like, I would like to come to Nebraska. Thank you. You got to get that big season, and that's what Hoiberg has done. Once you get the big season, then you can get that signature player. And in basketball, you don't need 7 guys. You need a couple who are great. And Nebraska's got a couple guys who are great, surrounded by role players who all know their role.
Sam, we were talking about Fred Hoiberg and Matt Rhule and Curt Cignetti for some reason as well. And DB played a clip where, he was talking about some of the characteristics he's looking for in players, coaches, and everything else. And one of the things that stuck out was he said, you have to have the ability to say no. It seems like Hoiberg learned that, the ability to say no to maybe this guy wants to come here, not a good fit. The ability to say, hey.
He said no to Abner Massey.
Yeah, I'll say this is how our coaching staff is put together, and that's not necessarily a fit. If there's a thing that you think Coach Rhule could go back and say no to, what do you think that would be?
Oh,
that's a really good question. It's an interesting question.
Who would you have said no to?
Me personally, I'll give you a second to think about it, Sam. I think everything that we know now, I think there's a chance he goes back and says no to Dylan. I don't think
he says, if you're coming, you're sitting.
Sure.
And you're sitting for a year.
Sure.
Is that your pick, Sam?
Well, the first thing I thought of was
interesting.
What would have happened is if Dylan said, I want to come to Nebraska, Rhule could have retorted, there's a lot you don't know about football. You've been to 3 or 4 different high schools. You're still learning the game. You're going to come here and you're going to do what you would do at Georgia or Oregon or anywhere else, and you're going to sit and you're going to watch and you're not going to play and you're not going to do that. And we're going to play Kyle McCord, and we're going to tell Kyle McCord that he's going to be the starter and you're going to be sitting.
Yep.
Here's the problem with that.
Yep.
The reason why I don't think he could say no is because they immediately used Dylan as a recruiting piece. And they immediately wanted it to become about, okay, Dylan's here, and so let's go out and get players. And that's why I hesitate to say that, because I don't know that he even envisioned it that way. I think he envisioned this kid's going to come here, we're going to play, we're going to deal with the lumps in year 1, and then in year 2 it's going to get really good because we'll have added all of these elite players to put around him. And actually, it's not hindsight. I said at the time that McCord should come and Raiola should sit, and they didn't do it. I don't think they thought they could do it, and they should have tried. They should have at least said, if you're coming here, we're no different from Georgia. You're going to sit. You're going to sit behind a guy that's going to play in the NFL next year. You're going to learn. We're going to put off the Patrick Mahomes cosplay for a year. You're going to sit on the sidelines. You're going to be like everybody else and learn with your teammates. We're not going to put you out front. And because that's the way it's done. And that's the way Drake May did it. And that's the way whoever else did it. But they didn't do that. And that's the way it goes. And they made the choice they made. Wasn't necessarily a bad choice. But that would probably be the thing I would think of. The other thing that I would think of,
I don't know if he would be afforded the luxury to say no. I kind of like your situation.
So that's the hard part, right?
Like, I don't think we wouldn't have been cool with him saying no.
The PR of him saying no in
agreed.
that situation is, whether it's Sam's no or my no or whatever that looks like, I think that you might have had a Luke Fickell situation where you lose the fan base immediately and can't get it back. But I do think
that McCord situation, though, Sam, was interesting because, I mean, Coach Rhule had COVID. The campus visit was quick. The flip was quick. Like, that happened in like a 4-day stretch.
I know. And it's too bad.
And I mean when I say I mean, like, and Coach Rhule don't miss work.
Yeah.
Like, that was I forgot all about that little 4 or 5 day window of the visit.
Sam, what was your number 2?
Oh, that they would have, when they hired Butler, that there would have been some kind of, unrequirement that he run exactly what had already been run or whatever. I don't know. I think Rhule probably on some level is a little bothered by how the Butler stuff went down. I think he has a lot of respect for Butler. I think there's frustration there. I think, that maybe that had been handled differently. Maybe they would have hired somebody else. I don't know. Because obviously the defense this year didn't work. I mean, the red zone situation was rough. Everything was rough. Butler said some things that I think probably rubbed people the wrong way for the right reasons. I mean, he wasn't real diplomatic in some circumstances. And I think Rhule's probably like, I wish that I'd handled that differently, whether it was hiring Butler at all or it was, I'm going to hire him, but I'm going to let him do what he wants to do. And and we're not going to stick with the 3-3-5 when we don't have the personnel. Those are probably the two things that I think of. But the Raiola thing's tricky because you can't tell him he can't come. He's got to come. But I wish they had been able to say, for your well-being, you're going to sit and you're going to learn and you're going to grow as a person. And next year you can play versus, you're going to be a superstar right off the jump. Because if he goes to Oregon and Dante Morris comes back, you know what he's going to do? He's going to sit.
Yep.
And he's going to watch Dante Moore play. And that's exactly the scenario that Nebraska could have had if Raiola had been open to it and Nebraska had been open to it.
Who are you taking in the championship game?
Indiana, all the way. Yeah, by 10. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing. I mean, Carson Beck can't move, so I don't. They're going to have a hard time moving the ball. They didn't move the ball on A&M. They didn't really move the ball in Ohio State. They're going to have a hard time moving the ball, and I think their defense will be better, certainly than Oregon's was. But I like Indiana to win it and to hoist the trophy, be the most unorthodox national champion we've had in college football since BYU in '84.
That is Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, appreciate the time as always. Hopefully we got you out of here on time. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Sam.
That is Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald.
I don't even know where to start.
I'm going to start with the Dylan thing because
Do we have to?
Yep. I think he's right because you can't say no. You can't say no outright to him coming because he's a 5-star and he's a legacy, right? Yeah. You can't do that. But I think what I meant is the risk you're running by implementing the same operating procedures with him as with anyone else is he tells you no then. And I think that would it would get out that Nebraska had a chance at Dylan and they weren't able to close. And that's as bad as telling him he can't come.
It's so much easier, whatever it is, if you're following along the lines of Cignetti-isms, the no is a lot easier when you're pitting it against such firm non-negotiables.
Yep.
The backdrop of it being more open-ended because you're entertaining multiple things lends itself to not as much of a firm no. And I talk about this all the time with DJ because I think you know what happens on the other end.
What's that?
Of a kind of a wishy-washy not no is a dirty yes.
Yep.
A dirty yes is somebody doing something and agreeing to it that isn't all in on doing it.
Yep.
Like those
you feel like your hands forced.
Yeah, dirty yeses are as bad or can be as detrimental as
I would argue
not saying no.
Well, I think when you're not saying no, you're implicitly giving a dirty yes.
No, I'm talking about the recipient of the decision.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Like if I said, "Hey, Ravi, man, I got a new idea. I want to take 4 breaks every podcast segment."
Okay.
And you're like, "Dude, look at our number of downloads. Like, why would we do that?" I'm like, "Ravi, come on, man, let's just do it." And you're like, "Oh, all right." Like that's a dirty yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Versus you saying to me, "No."
No.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So, like, if you want me to be encouraged about riding with a guy, I think his conviction has been strengthened in what he wants to do.
Yeah. Well,
and you could just hear it. I heard it in the last 2 months of the pressers.
You could make the argument that he compromised, it didn't work, and now he's not going to do that again.
Yeah. And listen, we act like everybody's above being able to like make mistakes and learn. right? You're not really ever going to be a finished product. And my buddy said this to me just this morning. He intimated the other day when he called in, but I want you to read this for a second.
Okay.
He goes, I mentioned the basketball team in my rant on your show several weeks back. People don't know this, but pretty sure Hoiberg still has a losing record overall at Nebraska.
He does.
The only reason I know, because even when people mention his mile mark of 100 wins, they remind you of the total number of games, which I've never seen before in acknowledging a milestone. But anyway, he said, find a coach that works hard, cares, and is not scared to self-correct. Combine that with patient an athletic director and a fan base, and it will eventually happen. And even if it doesn't, it would be your best chance either way to make it happen. I don't know why, but
Say that one more time. Just that last part.
Okay, he said, combine that with a patient, athletic director, and a fan base, it will eventually happen. And in parentheses, he's like, and even if it doesn't, it would it would give you the best chance to win either way to make it happen.
That's the key. Is it gives you the best chance either way.
As in best practices?
Yes.
I agree.
That's the thing.
I agree.
Because we're sitting here and, like, that's the hard part. That's why the PR of the Dylan thing doesn't necessarily match up with the reality. And I just use that because it's the most obvious. It's the biggest version of this variable that we're talking about here, right? Because if you stick to your convictions and say, hey, we would love to have you here, you're going to sit behind Kyle McCord for a year, which, to my knowledge, was an option. I'm not going to put you on the spot or anything. To my knowledge, which I had some people talk to me about that situation.
We didn't agree on this then either.
No, I think it was 100% on the table that if you had told Kyle McCord that Dylan was coming to learn, he still would have come here. I believe that to be the case. I could be wrong, but I believe that to be the case. But let's pretend for this scenario
that's not the part I was disagreeing with, but that I don't know.
Yeah. So let's pretend for the scenario that's
I do know the level of functionality for Coach Rhule during that stretch was way, way less than ideal.
Yeah. So let's pretend for this conversation that was the case. That you go and you say, hey, we're going to start Kyle for a year. You're going to sit. You're going to learn the offense, and then when you're ready. And you've done all the things to earn this spot.
Do you know why that sounds so good? Like, are you telling Cam Mack that while you're waiting for Sam Hoiberg?
I understand.
Do you?
I do. But even if,
because Sam Hoiberg looks a lot better at the point now than Cam Mack does.
He looks better.
But you're not taking that though.
He looks better at the point than anyone has. But that is my point here. Cam Mack is a better basketball player than Sam Hoiberg physically, like talent-wise. Cam Mack has more talent, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, what are you doing over here? That's not a hot take, right? Cam Mack is more talented than Sam Hoiberg.
Yeah, that is not a hot take.
Okay, so, but that is the point here. The point is you have to be able to say no to the more talented guy if the more talented guy doesn't line up with your non-negotiables.
So what is it? It's 7 and 25, 7 and 20.
2 straight 7 and 22s.
And 10 and
2 straight 7 and 22s.
10 and 24?
And then a 16 and 16.
10 and 22?
10
and 22.
Yeah. They didn't clear 500 until year 5.
And it was 16 and 16.
Yeah. No, that was year 4. So they didn't clear 500. They didn't get better. They didn't get a winning record until year 5.
Yeah. 23 and 11.
So we're sitting here, but that's my point. The Cam Mack Sam Hoiberg is a perfect example. You have the more talented guy versus the guy that does things the way you know needs to be done.
Do you want to look at one of your own teams in that same vein?
Absolutely.
Because that's what Coach – and that guy's had a ton of success.
That's what Coach Mack found himself in this
year. Yeah.
And guess when they started winning? When he said
no.
See ya. We're not doing this anymore. You do things the right way.
And that's a guy that has won a ton.
Or you're just not going to play.
And even at this stage in his career.
It still happened to him.
Yeah.
It's still got –
I understand.
It's still got – but so that's when
I understand.
When I talk about Dylan, that's what I mean, is because you have to be able to say – and that's why I said the important part is it gives you the best chance either way. Because even if Dylan says no, even if he says, yeah, I'm not doing that, I'm not coming, I'm not sitting, whatever, it still gives you the best chance to be who you want to be ultimately, even if in the short term you take a little hit. We don't understand, generally speaking, and I'm including myself. This is not just the royal we. This is the me we as well. we generally do not understand as fans that it is more damaging to compromise for a guy that we like or think is super talented or whatever than it is to not have that guy. Let me say that again. It is more damaging to compromise for a super talented guy than it is to not have that guy. That's a thing as a fan base that we really, really struggle to get our arms around.
So if you had it to do over again as he brings his team to Lincoln, you think Dana never recruits P. Allen?
Oh, 100%. I think not just P. Allen. There's a lot of guys. No. I think there's a lot of guys when he came back from Arkansas that he would not recruit again.
Yeah. And again, it's weird because you get the advantage of hindsight as 2020.
I think he knew in real time what was happening. There's no way he didn't. Those guys drove him crazy.
And even for as much self-awareness as you hammer Frost over, he knew he was compromising.
Yeah, he just couldn't go back.
And he said it.
But he just refused to go back and get it.
That's why I'm not mad at him. But anyway, my buddy is furious.
At what?
Oh, because I retweeted something. He can't stand one of the mayor. He gets mad at Schaefer.
Okay.
And I retweeted something that Joel tweeted.
Yeah.
He's going back and forth. The guy's no block, no rock, and Adam Rittenberg's deal. And Joel simply said, they're talking about the DC hire.
Mm-hmm.
People are going back and forth over the credentials.
Oh, yeah, on Orich.
Yeah, and Joel simply said they hired the guy the DC wanted, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked and favored it because that's 100%
That's
accurate.
what happened, yeah.
I'm trying to tell him, I'm like I can eat the meat and spit out the bones. I can rock with Joel. We can go have lunch or whomever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always agree with how the tactics, but when something's good, it's good. Like I can separate the two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not good at that.
No, I know.
Like I'm just
sometimes I shouldn't be either.
Yeah, there's times where I think it's to your detriment, but you're much better at that than me, and you get quality out of people I don't because I'm not willing to.
Man, I think at the end of the day, like if I need a ride at Costco, like, and I call him, he's coming to get me.
Sure.
So I'm not bearing him.
Yeah,
it's a good point, but I know he drives him crazy because he got at Rhule the other day for the cryptic tweet.
Sure. Yeah.
And he goes, "We're doing this SHIT again," and I was like, "Dang, you really don't like him, do you?"
You know, it's funny the things that we think matter when we're not winning. Like, I can't tell you how many people will text me or tweet at me or whatever and be like, well, do you see Curt Cignetti doing a podcast or do you see this on social media? And it's like, here's the thing. I don't know, and it's probably not his personality, but like, there's not like a thing. Somebody during the bowl game was like, he needs to turn his hat around. I'm like, oh my God. Like, you think they wouldn't have got their ass kicked by Utah if he turns his hat around? Because I don't think that made a difference.
Nah. I don't know, man.
I think they were still getting their ass kicked by Utah.
I'm
just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there are certain things that, but again, when we don't have the wins or whatever else, we start picking at things that bother us, even if they don't matter. And maybe some things do matter, but I don't think a backwards hat's one of them.
No.
I'm just going to go out on a limb on that one. But I agree. The hiring of a guy that, like all things being equal, because listen, I'm sitting here and I want Elijah Robinson like everybody else did a month ago or whatever that was, and he goes back to Texas A&M. And I want a big name guy, or I want a guy that's got a history of whatever. And I sit there and we get a guy from Miami of Ohio, and I go, But you go, hey, this is a guy that Orich has worked with before. He knows what to expect out of him. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna rely on that.
And for as many dumb examples as we want to use with the irrational comparison of Indiana and Nebraska, guess what nobody said when Cignetti brought his staff over?
What's that? Yeah. They're like, oh, those are his guys.
Whatever you just did.
Yeah.
Like nobody did that.
No, they're like, oh, that's his guys. He's bringing the JMU squad. He's bringing the IUP squad.
So part of that matters, right? Because you have to have some resolve to not cave to that.
I'm bringing the Elon squad,
which is why I liked and retweeted it. Plus, man, I don't give in to peer pressure. I'm fine.
No, you usually go the other way, and you're just like, well, I'm gonna do the opposite.
It's not true. I just agreed with what he said. I just was mad at him the other day.
No, I know.
Saturday, I just had this long I just had this. I'm like,
really, bro? And today I liked it, so it's fine. Like it's very fluid.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's physical. It's hard. It's cold.
Man, I'm just telling you. Part of me, if nothing else, and it's not because I cheer for Nebraska or that's my alma mater or whatever. If they win, there's going to be some really miserable people because I watch what's happening with basketball.
Oh yeah,
and the snark and the cynicism, like they can't even hide it.
This is how you know I never hated Nebraska basketball.
Like they can't even hide it. Everything comes across as a backhanded compliment or a bit. Like it's a good team. You could have wanted Coach Hoiberg fired or not like Nebraska basketball and still acknowledge that they're doing amazing things, and you're not even good enough to hide it. Like that's crazy.
This is how you know I never disliked Nebraska basketball because I'm thoroughly enjoying this season. They're playing great. They're fun to watch. Like at this point, I'm not going to lie to you. Like when they played Creighton, I was rooting for Creighton. I've been very upfront about that. That's how I operate. At this point, I enjoy watching them much more than Creighton this year.
And I also know more about your basketball.
I just care about
personality
basketball. Than most.
Yeah.
But like this is a fun team to watch.
I mean, you guys got, and I'm certainly not defending it because I don't even really like you. But I do work with somebody that hates watching Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Like just put that into perspective about.
And I cannot deny his talent or his place in history or anything like that.
Like
I do not enjoy watching it.
Yeah, it's just something.
I've never enjoyed watching James Harden. I'm mad at Luka Doncic because he chose to play a style that I don't think is aesthetically pleasing when I thought he was capable of more. Right?
Yeah.
What did I say to you? I said he could have been Larry Bird and he chose to be James Harden.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a knock. Yeah, that was
like
a funny day.
Like aesthetically, like I care about what basketball looks like way more than I should. And for most of my life, Nebraska has not played basketball that is fun to watch. They've played basketball that is fun to watch the last couple of years under Fred Hoiberg.
Well, and listen, man, let's just keep it a buck. That's how the whole Jasker thing was created. Creighton basketball fans, even though it didn't origin. Whatever. I'm talking about the affinity because people wanted they wanted to watch good basketball, and Creighton was playing it.
Yeah.
So
that's literally
that's how it happened.
The whole thing is I liked basketball growing up. I wanted to watch good basketball. Nebraska didn't offer that to me at the time. So I watched Creighton. That's all it is. That doesn't mean I hate Nebraska. Listen, how mad was I at Coach Crutchfield 2 years ago?
Oh God. And I'm a fan and it was pissing me off.
And what did I say last year when they're making an NCAA tournament run? I was wrong, and this is fun.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't matter. But they were also playing dramatically better basketball than they had the previous years.
They're going to get it together.
I believe that. I believe it because I've seen it now.
I'm hoping hockey does too at the same point.
Got to, Omaha Athletics. Let's go, guys. We got this. My guy Evan Porter is going to be starting up pretty soon here.
Yeah. I had to go
baseball
get some
season.
I got to go get some more gear.
Yeah.
I only have the 2 vests. I do have the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
But I rarely rock just a hoodie out. I'll wear it to bed and I wear it to practice. But I don't ever just wear like a hooded sweatshirt here that's long sleeve.
Oh, yeah. I'll say you wear the short sleeve ones a lot.
Yeah.
You wear the short sleeve. I need to get some. I was talking to our old friend Stibbs about this yesterday.
Yeah. Which, by the way, good on you.
See? Look at that. I like kids sometimes.
I was floored. But I'm a huge Ian guy.
Ian's great. I love Ian.
So I've seen him out.
That's why I did it.
And when he introduced him, so this is probably about 5 or 6 years ago, about what a fan, like he just was a good dude. And I was like, you know what?
Ian's the best.
Whatever you do, I'm rocking with you.
Yeah.
I was like, look at you. You're at a youth
4th grade girls
basketball game.
Yep.
And Bishop's smile was incredible.
We all had a great time.
So go back. So I think it's on Ian's Twitter account. He has a picture. No, it's Bish. John tweeted it out.
Yep.
Bishop's smile is. I'm not being weird. It's incredible.
No, he's like
he looked like he had utter joy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this has to, because that'd be right.
We all had a blast. It was incredible.
And
we had a blast.
The look on Bish's face with just the joy, I was like, Me too. Like, dude, he looked incredible.
He did.
He looked incredible, and I was like, and I saw it, and I was like, I want that. I want that.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
like it genuinely was.
Yeah,
and the kids had they were so excited.
Yeah,
it was
good on you, man.
It was actually a lot of fun. It's kind of there's the bit that I don't like kids or whatever. Like I don't want kids. There's a lot of times I don't want to be around kids, right? So I'm not gonna pretend like it's all a bit. But
is this the whole but versus and thing?
Yes. I don't want kids. There's a lot of times I don't want to be around kids. And I do want the best for kids.
Yeah.
I do. I don't always want to be the one that has to do it.
Because I felt bad for Ryan yesterday about his basketball, and I apologized to him. I was like, oh, my God, Nebraska basketball fans are killing this dude.
Yeah.
He ended up following me, and I followed him back. But I was like, hey, man, my apologies. I didn't mean for this to be like vitriol.
Yeah.
It's just that you said this, and this, but Indiana can't blow a 16-point lead.
Yeah.
And I wanted to tell him, I was like, listen, I rock with Mitch Sherman. And I said the same thing to him the other day. It was about Keona Davis.
Yep.
Right? It's like
this isn't this.
You say all these things about Keona Davis, but this is happening all around college football.
Mm-hmm.
Like just say and. Then you receive the message differently.
Yeah, 100% you do.
So and I had to tell him, I was like, man, I'm just kind of that's a big deal to me. But just comes across as dismissive.
Yes. Well, you know what? The way I receive it, and maybe it's a me problem, it's entirely possible, is when somebody says blah, 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 but it means I didn't mean this first part.
Or it doesn't have any value.
Yes. It's like, I just said this so you wouldn't be mad at me, and here's the part that I really mean.
So for Ryan, I threw myself under the bus. I used the Ravi example.
Yeah.
But it's important, right?
It is.
Listen, I say a lot of dumb things.
But Ravi is my co-host.
But Ravi's my co-host.
Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Versus I say a lot of dumb things.
And
Ravi's my co-host.
Yeah.
Like, so
it's a different thing.
It's different.
It is a different thing. I will say, and last thing about calling a fourth grade girls basketball game, shout out to the team Holy Cross was playing, Los Santos. They're an organization.
Why did you dress so nice?
I told them I was going to take this way too seriously.
Jeez.
That was like the bit that I was doing. I was giving like real basketball analysis. Like I was getting after it.
Oh Lord.
But the Los Santos is an organization that provides free athletics for kids.
That's awesome.
And that's what the team they were playing was. Ian's daughter plays for Holy Cross.
Mm-hmm.
And Los Santos, and shout out to Coach Cantu. He was a ton of fun and played along with our stupid little thing we were doing.
It's not stupid.
I mean, it was kind of a silly thing, but it was fun. But yeah, they give free athletic programs to kids in their area. So just want to give them a shout out. If you're looking for something, Los Santos is where it's
Operation shout out.
Yeah, I appreciate. Listen, they do things for free, so I'll give them a free shout out. You know,
look at this. Look at that bitch.
I know.
He looks fantastic.
We all had so much fun. It was a great experience. I'm glad we could do it. And I gotta say,
my man Stiblitz is smiling. Like, that's a good picture, man.
Can I say the amount of like joy those kids had when they made a shot?
Yeah.
Like they on both teams, they were just like, yes, let's do it. Like it was actually really cool.
All right, so I should give you some credit because I shouted out Bish and
no, that's fine.
I gave Stib some love.
No, you said good on me.
Yeah. You look nice in your gear.
We got Ty Schalter, talk a little NFL coming up next from Pride of Detroit.
We look like a team that's played 3 games in 6 days. I just didn't think we had a lot of energy. I think we survived early on some made jump shots, but I didn't think our pace was great. And then, defensively, we didn't have a lot of teeth. Especially towards the end of the second half, I thought, they had a couple big scoring runs, 6 in a row at one point, and then I think 8 of the last 9 to end the half. And I really felt like if we could have kept it, inside of 10 at halftime, I would have liked our chances. When St. John's shoots the basketball like that, they're a tough team to beat. They're so physical inside around the rim that takes up a lot of your scouting report.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that we were pretty glued into our game plan, and then I think a couple things happened sometimes, like offensively, where we were not getting the shots that we wanted, or we might have some turnovers, and then all of a sudden that leads to a few run-out layups, and it just kind of is a little bit deflating. But when you look at the box score and it's like, okay, it's just, they outscore you by 6 in this quarter and 2 in this quarter, and it just kind of feels like it's a slow bleed in a game like this, and it just it wasn't necessarily like one huge run that I can put my finger on, but more just, kind of a couple reactions after negative plays on offense that led to transition runouts or offensive rebound, kick out, dagger 3 plays that, and obviously they have, they're led by 6 very experienced seniors that, are projected to be potentially 5 first-round draft picks. And it's an incredibly talented roster that they're going to make you pay when you have 17 turnovers.
When I talked to them, I said, and don't take this the wrong way, I said the media reacts by the hour because that's their job. Their job is not to write about what they saw and what's coming up. So I said the fans are going to react to that day. I said, but there's no panic with us. We know. I said, you're not a whole lot different than last year's team in terms of where we were. Now, was the Providence game a bad loss? Yes. And did Providence have a bad loss against UConn being up? Yes. Did Creighton have a bad loss being up 16 at Villanova? Yes. It happens in basketball. But I said, we have no panic. I said, I am not unhappy with one person on this basketball team. You're great guys. You practice hard. You play hard. You made some really bad plays down the stretch defensively, and it cost us the game. So we learn and we move on. So I just was very calm with them and said, look, I'm not wavering one bit. I know who you are. I know what you're all about.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Sky Moore again, little trickery. He's thrown it before. Going deep at Caffrey. He's got it. Touchdown 49ers.
Big on the tush push. There he is, shoving, and Allen's got it. Not to be denied. He's still going. Look at this. Wow. A full thoroughbred. And they say touchdown.
And Stroud. Love. Looking. One last guess. Moving guys around. Fires to the end zone. And it is broken up. The Bears win it.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Ty Schalter. He covers the NFL for Pride of Detroit. Ty, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're hanging in there. So I got to start with the lowest of the low-hanging fruit. Ravi's over here grilling me during the break like I'm supporting Mike McDaniel. He is absolutely floored that he's.
I was just asking.
It's your delivery. You ask Ty. He's the expert. Ty, what is it about Mike McDaniel that's alluring for another organization for a head coaching position?
Whew. Yeah, position is a good question.
Wait a second. What's the? Ooh, you don't agree either, Ty?
No. Listen, McDaniel, bright offensive mind, obviously had a lot of good ideas, hit the ground running in Miami, and I think one thing he understood right away, he brought in a wide receiver that fit what Tua could do well, right, and built the kind of offense around that. It's something that I think we see a lot, where you need quarterback receiver chemistry, right? Unless you've got a specific schematic thing, like Kyle Shanahan's like, I want a quarterback who will do exactly what I want him to do when I want him to do it, and then I can move chess pieces around because it's the routes and route combinations that are getting guys open, right? But if you have Tua, you're like, okay, what can he do? He can put it on somebody across the field. He can maximize yak. Okay, great. Let's go get Tyreek Hill, right? So that makes sense. And I think we're seeing some retreads, like going back to the well. That's worked out for some teams, right? It's always a copycat league. I've said for a long time that guys who have been a head coach somewhere, made some mistakes, screwed up, learned, and now they've got whatever they had going for them before, plus experience of what didn't work. I think a lot of people go, hey, the second time Mike McDaniel's going to be a head coach, he's probably going to be a lot better. Maybe some of them want to skip right to, hey, let's just hire him right now before he goes someplace else as an OC, has like 1.5 years and is suddenly the hottest candidate again.
Ty, let me ask you here about
I mean, I get it.
I do. I'm trying to figure out just how quickly Nick Sirianni gets fired so they can hire John Harbaugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kevin Petullo's certainly out. Nick Sirianni, I don't know. I think he's done enough. We'll see how what actually happens there. Obviously, this was not good enough. It's been not good enough all season. The biggest thing I question is, where are the RPOs? Right? Like Jalen Hurts, you're saving him all year. You don't want to run him 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 times a game in the regular season, but you haven't been able to produce when your offense needs to produce a lot. You've won a lot of very close, very ugly games that were there to win. You have a lot of talent on the offense. You have all the weapons you need. Why aren't you using what makes Jalen Hurts better than other quarterbacks? Why are you trying to have him, beat Brock Purdy playing Brock Purdy's game? Why can't you have him play Jalen Hurts' game, right? So I think lots of questions to the yes there about Nick Sirianni. But obviously Vic Fangio and the defense so tall. Obviously there's a lot of good things going in Philadelphia. But I feel like a change at offensive coordinator is a bare minimum.
So, Ty, right or wrong, or kind of get your take on this, I feel like the AFC equivalent to Sirianni is McDermott sans the Super Bowl, right? They win a ton. He still gets scrutinized a bunch for in-game stuff. It's almost like every playoff game is a referendum on his coaching prowess. Is that fair, foul? Do you kind of get it? Because they sure do find themselves in this situation quite a bit for a guy that gets a lot of pushback.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing fair in the NFL ultimately, right? But like playoff success, once you achieve a certain level of success, when you're constantly winning divisions, constantly making the playoffs, when you've got a human difference maker in Josh Allen under center, right? A guy who can and often does win games all by himself, you do start to go, hey, at what point do you put enough of a team around him where he's not winning games by himself? And they've tried multiple times, multiple different ways, bringing in free agents, letting them go, drafting guys, and there's still not that consistency. There's still not the consistent running game. There's still not consistent weapons, right? It keeps coming back to Josh Allen's got to do it himself, and sometimes he does. But in the playoffs, you need multiple ways to win. You need that high floor so you can deal with, well, what if somebody's banged up today? What if Josh Allen is not Josh Alien today? And McDermott oftentimes has not been able to come up with answers. Obviously, this time he did. This time they went and got that road game, the first road playoff win since the George H.W. Bush administration. But you still don't go, well, now the Bills are rolling, right? They're clearly the best team, and they're going to go win the AFC. You're still going to go, you feels like they are not on track to cash in.
Ty, speaking of coaches that have to adjust to injuries and going to plan B, C, D, E, and F, Kyle Shanahan has done an incredible job with the 49ers this year.
You homer.
100%. But what has been the thing that you've been most impressed by in terms of the 49ers' ability to continue to adjust on the fly, considering all of their injury situations this year?
Yeah, and we expect this offensively from Kyle Shanahan, right? And he's got his quarterback. So again, you can mix and match. You can drop stuff. You can have Juwan Jennings become the first wide receiver to throw 2 playoff touchdowns. But actually, it's the defense, what Robert Saleh has been able to do with, talk about scrap heap, right? They're on their 9th, 12th, 14th string linebackers, right? Just absolutely decimated. And yet Robert Saleh is coming up with plays, with solutions, pulling guys off the street, putting them in running gold, and they're out there making plays against the Eagles and shutting down their comeback attempts, right? So it's Eric Kendricks, I think, that knocked down that last 4th down. So, huge credit, I think, to Saleh, who, can and should, again, be a head coaching candidate, because what he's done with that defense and those guys, it's really remarkable.
So let me ask you something, Ty. For your money, and I won't even ask you if you're starting a franchise tomorrow, unless there's a different answer. Who's the best coach remaining in the playoffs for you?
Ooh. Would it be weird to say Sean Payton? I think it might be Sean Payton.
That is off the grid.
A little bit, yeah. But I think what he's done with Bo Nix, how many other coaches, right, I think take Bo Nix and get the play that he's gotten out of him to this point, right? And that's involved Sean Payton changing his strikes a little bit. I think that's something, you look at Kyle Shanahan, and, if there's one kind of criticism, it's been like what he needs is a quarterback who does what he says no matter what, right? Like, could Kyle Shanahan get out of Josh Allen what other coaches have been able to get out of Josh Allen by just handing him the ball? It's like, go make plays, Josh Allen, right? For right or wrong. Bo Nix is not Drew Brees and is never going to be, right? But they've been able to bring him along and make him and pair him with the defense. Now, Sean Payton winning with the defense first team and molding and adapting that into what he does. I just think, obviously they've got a ton of talent in Denver, but him recognizing that and not going, we're going to change to do what I do, but adapting and getting the talent in and going, I'm going to change what I do to win. I think that's always been the sign of a fantastic coach.
All right, so this is interesting because I asked one of our beat writers this morning, and he said Vrabel, and you said Sean Payton, and I get it, like opinions, his rationale. I listened to. Are you surprised that the answers aren't like McVay, Shanahan? And I get Shanahan in big time, like he's had his moments of where his detractors may get on him, but he has a better win-loss record head-to-head than McVay. So I would listen to that, even though McVay's got it going later against him. How is it not McVay, though?
No, McVay's a great shout, and then I actually thought of him when I was talking earlier about how these second-chance coaches, I think, have a lot to offer. In a way, McVay is a second-chance coach. It kind of all fell apart, right? And he kind of sat back and learned. And I think a lot of people thought he was going to get fired after the Jared Goff thing fell apart. And
their cap was a disaster.
Yes. Right, but so they kept him, but he also went back and said, he talked before about how he handled the Jared Goff thing and went, hey, I learned, right? They went out and went all in, and people forget how much luck was involved in that first year. Stafford coming in, everything falling into place, they go and win. But then he still continues to evolve, and same thing, then, okay, we have to let all these guys go, right? We have to let a bunch of these top veterans go. It's going to be me, Stafford, and, whoever we can get in the third round. Then it's, okay, that guy happens to be Puka Nacua, great. But then they've built back up multiple times, and he keeps adjusting and he keeps innovating and improvising. And, he keeps running circles around a lot of other coaches. So absolutely McVay should be right up there with everybody else. It's just right now, they're not the juggernaut that they were 6 weeks ago. So maybe that's why it's not the first name on everybody's list. But no question, McVay's done an outstanding job.
Let me ask you about the best afterthought, maybe in any sport that has lasted this long in the postseason. Why is McDonald get overlooked for what he's done in Seattle?
Oh, great question. Probably just because his name's too similar to all the other coaches. People.
A lot of the mix.
All the mix. McDonald, McDaniel, right? But maybe there's a little of that old West Coast bias. Seattle spent a long time not getting a lot of the coverage that other teams did because people weren't staying up late enough to watch their games. But Sam Darnold, obviously the defense has been a big part of that. They've been able to have a running game, two-headed attack that's worked really well. And it's not like Darnold hasn't had some Darnold-esque moments. It's not like he hasn't been turning the ball over, but he's made plays in big moments. They've schemed up plays for him in big moments, and he's pulled through when it counts. And he's got that team believing, right? And he's got Darnold believing in himself, which is a big key. That's what worked in Minnesota. So absolutely, for a first-time coach, it's very, very impressive. And maybe it's because they flew under the radar, right? That they didn't get as many headlines. They didn't have as many big wins. They didn't play as many big teams early. That Rams win was the first real big kind of pelt on their wall, right? And that was pretty late in the season. So he definitely should be getting more attention than he is.
Sometimes I always think it's more about what happens to the places that said coach left. You can look at Detroit offensively, fired Johnny Morton, but gosh, is there a better indicator than the Ravens defense for McDonald's prowess?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Fell off a cliff. And personnel changes go with that. Everything's different, right? Obviously, John Harbaugh gets let go because also wasn't working on the offensive side. And I mean, the Ravens, they were decimated defensively. So many injuries too. But still, sometimes like the ability to make up for injuries, like I said with Robert Saleh, right? When you can scheme up, when you can adapt, when you can adjust, when you're sitting here in January going, I don't have the roster I had in September. The stuff I was drawing up in September and October doesn't work because I don't have the right guys out there to do it. I've got to do something else, or I've got to coach them up to do the things I need done in a limited capacity, and we're going to make it work. And I'm going to get them fired up, and they're going to go out there and play out over their skis, and we're going to win. Like, yeah, when you don't have that advantage and you don't have the talent advantage, things are going to change.
Ty, as you kind of look at the matchups, obviously the Steelers-Texans still have to play out, but as you look at the matchups in the divisional round, what game are you most intrigued by?
Ooh. Well, it's tough because we're getting a bunch of repeats, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Like, oh man, I really got to see Rams Seahawks again, right? Like, we really got to see 49ers Seahawks. Like, it just happened, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're getting a bunch of repeats in the NFC. So like you said, the AFC side, we still got to see who wins. I think I have a sneaking suspicion, right, on who's going to win tonight.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
I'm a Steelers fan. What do you got?
Okay. All right. Aaron Rodgers against the Texans defense. I don't want to say it out loud.
They've been giving up plays down the field, though. You think some of that continues?
True. It'll be up to Rodgers. Can he stick it out in the pocket? Can he risk taking hits? Is he going to go, I'm going to wait for these plays to develop, right? Are they going to dial up those seam routes, those downfield throws that he likes to throw? We've seen he's got the arm still, right? He can make those throws. There's no question about that. It's whether he's willing to stand in the pocket, risk getting hurt, wait for those receivers to get downfield, and then make those throws. And, maybe that's built off, can they run a little bit more? We'll see. But I think Aaron Rodgers ultimately cannot get rid of the ball as fast as he's been getting rid of the ball and have success downfield against that Texans defense.
If, let's say you're right, it ends up being Patriots and Texans in that next round, who do you think has the easiest path to the Super Bowl out of each conference?
Ooh. Out of each darn, this is where we need the non-reseeding, right? To sit here and go, all right, well, they've got, all the way through. I mean, Seattle at home obviously is always going to be an advantage, right? The 12 are going to be a big
Kyle, are they back to having the 12th man now, do you think?
Maybe now, right? Like, maybe now they come back at that divisional round. They know who they've got to face. They know what people are going to get up for that. I don't think it's quite the week in, week out advantage, but home divisional round, number one seeds, absolutely.
What's the path for a team like you said you like Sean Payton as the best coach left here? Do you trust him and the combination of Bo Nix enough to say, even if I like him the best
Like
as the
over
coaches,
Vrabel and
yeah,
May or
over Josh Allen and McDermott, over Vrabel and May, over I guess CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans, maybe D'Amico Ryans and that defense are a better combination there. Like, do you trust?
Hey, thanks for fast forwarding over the Steelers.
I'm just going with Ty's own predictions.
Yeah, no.
Do you trust him compared to what he's facing?
Great question. I think Josh Allen right now at this point, we're seeing he's not getting the help, right? We're seeing it's not other people making the plays for him. And we've seen that that's not been enough in the playoffs yet. And that Broncos defense, super, super talented. And unless the Bills can run the ball and get some of that heat off, because the edge rushers in Denver are just unbelievable, right? And the secondary is just as talented. So I don't love that. I don't know if I believe in Drake May just enough yet. Though, obviously he was fantastic again. He can break, contain, he can make stuff happen. And the accuracy is everywhere you want it to be, right? Like, he's way ahead of schedule. And I think I have a ton of respect for Mike Vrabel as a coach. So, yeah, again, I don't know, though, as going up against that defense. Really, it's probably the Texans that have the best shot against the Broncos, because it's strength on strength. It's those two great defenses and those two quarterbacks where you go, is this going to be a good week? Is this going to be a bad week? How many big plays are they going to make? How many turnovers are going to happen when those two teams have to go against each other? So I guess, yeah, long story short, I like the Broncos over the Bills. I like the Broncos over the Patriots. I don't know if I like the Broncos over the Texans if they make it that far.
All right, last one from me, Ty. What's the best job that's currently open for you?
Ooh. I'm tempted to say Ravens just because outside of the questions about Lamar, you have Lamar, and you have an organization otherwise that's just full of continuity, top to bottom, right? You have the resources, you have the expertise, you have an organization that has an identity, you have players there, you have a fan base. You walk in, like I said, as long as you can get Lamar right and get that buy-in, I think that's a great situation. You're going to get some guys coming back from injury. I think Baltimore's probably the right decision. But even then, again, it's question marks about Lamar. Is what you want to do on offense, is that going to fit? Are you a personality fit with Lamar? And can you heal some of the wounds, that have been reported around the team and Lamar and the frustrations?
That is Ty Schalter, Pride of Detroit. Ty, appreciate the time as always. Enjoy the game tonight and the divisional round.
Absolutely. You guys too.
Thanks, Ty.
That is Ty Schalter from Pride of Detroit. We've got.
I got one of your bad habits.
What'd I do?
I went.
Oh, my bad.
You'd like you care.
I don't.
That's interesting you did that, Damon.
Shut up, Shane. You're right, I don't.
Yeah,
whatever. Jeez, man. Tough hang.
Listen, I think the one thing you may actually like about me is you know exactly what you're getting.
Yep. That's what I was just telling my buddy about Joel.
Zero
He's
surprises.
It's my guy.
Zero surprises from me.
Marty.
We do have a little bit of breaking news to get to. Former Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola has committed to Oregon via his Instagram.
Big Instagram guy.
Little post on Instagram.
Yeah, right.
You know what he hasn't posted about still?
We can move on.
Just hadn't said a word about his time in Nebraska.
Or maybe not.
Not a word. Jeez. You know what I think is interesting, though? Real quick.
I'm waiting for your
bated breath, I know.
No, gut reaction. Sometimes people just have to have those about everything.
I've got lots of guts, and I've got lots of reactions.
You're dumb.
I do think it's interesting that this.
What Lamont used to say to Fred, or Fred to Lamont? You big dummy.
Who's Lamont?
His son.
Lamont Jordan?
No, it's Sanford and Son. It's a little before your time.
Oh shoot, I missed that.
I'm a big Red Fox guy.
That's a good show.
It is good. It was a good show.
Yeah.
I didn't really get in. There wasn't really reruns of that when I was growing up. It wasn't like in syndication much.
Sanford and Son?
Not when I was watching, at least.
Yeah.
I did catch there's a lot of other stuff I caught.
Rerun. What a Bookman. Were you a big Good Times guy?
No, I watched a lot of Cosby Show.
That's as close as you get to cultural.
That's not true. That's just what was on.
I'm asking. I'm not insinuating.
Oh, you kind of are. No, I watched a lot of Cosby Show. I really like.
Did you watch A Different World?
I don't remember that one.
Living Single.
Nope.
You're gonna probably say yes to this, but shocker, Family Matters.
Yes, I watched Family Matters.
Of course.
You know what? When I was big hanging with Mr. Cooper guy.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it was on TGIF for a while. I was big hanging with.
What about Everybody Hates Chris?
Rodney Pete's wife was in that show, I think.
So at that time she'd have been Holly Robinson. Pete.
Yes, Holly Robinson. It was before she was married, I think.
Okay.
And then there was, I don't remember who the guy was, but he was like an ex-basketball player.
Of course.
I was drawn to.
Yeah.
Basically, if there was a show on that had any even sort of tie to sports, even if they didn't talk about it hardly at all, like I was in.
Yeah. Did you ever get back into like A Different Strokes?
Probably the oldest show that I ever watched regularly.
All in the Family?
No, I was a big Happy Days guy.
Do you want a chance to win $20 of your 80?
Always.
What was the African American's name in Happy Days?
I'll be honest, I did not know there was an African American in Happy Days.
You didn't stick around? Shane, would you like to? I just said it, but would you like to take a stab at his name?
Archie. I didn't hear it.
Was it Shane?
Sticks.
Oh. No, I do not remember Sticks.
Of course you don't.
I mostly remember.
Can I get my 20 back?
Fonzie.
No.
Can I ask you a question?
No.
How many kids did the Cunninghams have?
Three.
That's good. You had it.
Is that right?
Yeah, you wanted to say two because you just thought it was Joni and Richie.
Somebody
Somebody went to college.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I don't even know
He
who
came down the stairs one day, went out the door, and never came back.
I kind of believe that.
They used to do that on shows all the time, where somebody would just disappear and just never.
They wrote his ass off.
Yeah, they would never address it.
Yep.
Just be like, oh, that guy's gone now.
You know who they should have done that with?
Yeah.
What was the younger daughter's name in Family Ties? What was Alex's and Mallory's? What was the little girl's name?
No, I don't know.
She drove me up the wall.
I wasn't a big Family Ties guy.
Man, it's depressing.
I didn't watch a lot of Family Ties.
That's a good show. I like that show.
I watched I didn't watch a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's before you.
Yeah,
so. But you have kind of an old soul, so and syndication is a thing.
Yeah, mostly the syndication was I don't remember seeing those on.
What you talking about, Willis? That show was so inappropriate. Now, I don't even think they could rock with that.
Who was the?
Now the world don't move. See, that's where the whole. Never mind.
What's that?
Nothing.
You good?
Yeah, I was going to talk about knighting, but I'm not.
So I think it's interesting. Yesterday, there was a report that came out that Dylan Raiola would be willing to sit if Dante Moore came back to Oregon. That'd be willing to sit for a year.
Yeah.
I think that's a big factor into what we just saw today. I'm not sure Lanning would have taken him if that didn't get out, or if he wasn't intimating that.
If you're Dante
Lanning.
Moore, do you think his stock was hurt by how they looked against Indiana?
I absolutely think his stock was hurt.
Yeah.
He's probably still a first-round quarterback.
I got two things confirmed at once.
What's that?
Oregon was always the team that I questioned, but Indiana is significantly better than I gave them credit for going into that game.
Unbelievable.
So I think two things can be true at once.
You want to? Speaking of Indiana, you want to?
So this hindsight is 2000 or 20, whatever it is.
Yeah.
However many. It's just
2020. Just 2020.
But wouldn't I want to be able to see something at 2,000 feet the same as I could at 20? Could it be 2020? Or no?
It could be. Like if you've got no, that's backwards. I think. I don't know. If you've got like 2010 vision, that means you see things at 20 feet, like they're only 10 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd almost want I think you want the second number to be smaller.
Yeah, 2020.
Nope. First number's big. That's bad. You don't want
the
first number is always 20.
Well, I have something I'd like to say.
Go ahead.
I've watched this 100 times.
Yeah.
You know the pick six
mm-hmm.
that Dante Moore threw?
Yep.
Look at the point man to the bunch side.
Okay. Which one's the point man on the bunch side?
So they're in a little 3-by, but it looks like a little triangle.
Yep.
The apex. The number one receiver on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
He's still open.
Okay.
Listen, immediately.
Yeah.
He is still – they should have scored the other way. Literally.
Yeah.
They turned him loose.
We just missed him.
They turned him loose.
Yeah.
So they're either playing tendency or – I don't know. Go back and watch that first.
Can I ask a question here? Because I think
it's not even like I'm not even like wishful thinking. He's wide open right now to the 3-by.
Is that something? Because this seems like something that Cignetti would do. Does he think that Dante Moore isn't reading it? He's got it predetermined.
Maybe.
Run throwing the ball?
That's a thing. That's a thing. But that's coaching matters, right?
Yeah. If that's the case, and you're predetermining things, Dante Moore should go back to school.
Well, so is this a deal where you want to be the best of a bad bunch? Because none of these quarterbacks are. And maybe his play will be spectacular, but does anything about Mendoza's personality give you the inkling that he could lead an NFL locker room?
No, I think that would be a tough hang.
So,
like, I think
maybe it's like I don't know. I asked you if you thought it was a bid or they're playing in.
No, I think that's who he is.
So.
But if that,
I mean, you're going to have to be exceptional.
His only shot is if that truly is just who he is, that people appreciate. Like, it's not a front. That's just
has
what
he
is.
thrown an incompletion yet?
Just a couple, not a lot.
Jeez.
Not a lot. You know what's funny though? Like going back to the Cignetti thing a little bit and talking about Fernando Mendoza here, is this goes all the way back to our identity conversation earlier in the show.
Google me.
Is
Curt, leave me alone.
I think a lot of people looked at Fernando Mendoza and was like, out of Cal. And we're saying, ready-made, we can get that guy in and get him in.
What did I say about Fernando Mendoza?
You thought he could be really, really good. Yeah. But did you hear Cignetti's comments on Mendoza? I think they played them during one of the other games. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, I looked at Fernando Mendoza. I was like, I think that guy can be pretty good. And then he just went off like a list of all the things to improve the day he got there. And it wasn't like that was a really stark contrast to me to the way seemingly other people view quarterbacks when they're bringing them in.
To our guy's point this morning, was it Joshua?
Josh.
Who did I like?
Yeah,
Not
I think
Klein.
so.
I like him.
Yeah, the one on Facebook.
Yeah. So to his point, maybe that's part of the 1 in a million that you were talking about, that he was talking about with Cignetti.
Maybe, but I also think I think it's just a further. I think it is a result
further example of him
of knowing
what he wants it to be.
Of knowing the identity so well that even this guy that other people think is ready-made and ready to go, he looks at and goes, I can get this guy there, but he's not there.
Yeah, because
despite
we saw
what he
did
like.
with work.
Yeah, who was not near the talent.
I don't know if you know this, but you know what conference he came from?
Mac.
He's a Mac guy.
Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Big Mac guy.
Big Mac guy.
Isn't he? Okay, am I remembering this correctly? I thought he was going to lose the job at Ohio. That's why he transferred.
There's different. Just depends on who you listen to.
Okay. Because that was sort of one of the narratives.
Needing to get healthy, too.
Yes. Is that maybe he wasn't going to be the guy at Ohio.
And some guys just want a fresh start.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Sometimes you need a fresh start.
Are you okay with guys being told to test the market and then see if you want to come back?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. I also think I think sometimes.
Because I think a lot of people are going to find out the portal, it's a lonely place.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up.
Why?
Well, because I was looking at landing spots for guys for Nebraska that have been in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
So Dylan's going to Oregon. Malcolm Hartzog's going to Arizona.
Yeah.
Keona Davis doesn't have a spot yet.
Is Keona Davis in the portal?
I don't think he's officially. So fair. I don't think he's officially in there. But you've got.
I think Vermas went to Rice.
Vermas, I believe, is at Rice. You got Jalen George at Tulsa. You got Jason Machacek at Wyoming. You've got Preston Okafor at Fresno State.
Somebody else just went to Fresno too.
Which there's a connection with Entz, right?
And they recruit
this area
too.
super well, right? But
who just went to Fresno?
Those you've got two guys going to power conferences in Dylan and Malcolm. And then you got a lot of guys that either don't have places to land yet or are going to group of 5 schools. And that's not to say that they're not good players or couldn't become good players. The point is there are way more players in the portal than spots at places those players want to be.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a problem with Coach Rhule saying like, hey, we like you. We think you can be good here. But if you need to see for yourself what's out there, we don't have a problem.
Yeah.
You see this with professional teams sometimes.
Oh, I know who it is.
Who?
Maverick Noonan.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to go to Fresno.
Which, again, local guy. They know the area super well. Makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, he's going to play, too.
Right?
Good player.
Yeah, I like Mav. That's a guy that I would have preferred to keep. But, again, I think sometimes you have to look at landing spots and what was available to them. And that's why I kind of said, hey, there's really not anybody in there that's gone in so far that I go, oh, could not have afforded to lose that person, right? What did we say? 3.5 for starters? What are we at right now? 3, if you include Malcolm. He didn't start most this year because of injury, but he was a starter, so I'll include him.
So how many guys have gone in? 17?
Yeah, I think
Count
it's
them for me. Malcolm.
1, 2, 3.
Dylan. Tristan. Ramir. Stewart. Machachek. Bryce Turner. Kenneth Williams. Jalen George. Maverick Noonan. Caden Moss. Roger Gradney.
I think
Kynan Torres. Oak.
with
Tapu,
the withdrawns, I think it's 16.
Parker. And I'm missing one.
I think with the withdrawns, it's 16.
Oh, Dabia.
Yeah. So 16 guys. 2 of which are committed to power conference schools right now. And most of which are not committed anywhere.
And they've gotten, work with me, count.
Yep.
Kalen. Calandria. Kwanzi Gilmer. Babalade.
I think I'm at 14.
Okay.
I think. Because you got...
You just didn't want to count with me?
Oh, I thought you meant count while you were doing names. My bad.
Well, I was. You didn't even do that. I didn't get to 14. Jeez.
My bad. My bad. That's on me. That's on me.
It's totally on me.
That's totally on me. Yeah, I think so. You're about even in terms of number of players, and I wouldn't be stunned if 1 or 2 of the guys that we named come back out still, or remove their name, or guys that we think aren't in, and whatever, But I don't have a problem with testing the waters. Like, I think that's a transparency part of this process. You like your Steelers at plus 1,800?
The Steelers' odds as the 5th team and the odds to win the AFC are more than the total number of plus dollars available for the first 4 teams.
Yeah.
215, 250, 260, 500, plus 1,800.
That gets you to what, 1,300 basically?
That's incredible.
Well,
That's fine. Everybody's out on the Steelers.
You like being a little bristled up,
Oh, I love it. It's so my personality.
It is a little.
Love to be bristly.
You like to be contrarian sometimes, a little bit.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I hate low-hanging fruit groupthink, but I don't go out of my way to be contrarian. Sometimes the majority makes a good point.
Sometimes. Every once in a while.
I don't. The contrarian thing.
I don't think you're a contrarian. I think there are sometimes.
Well, you think the fact that I don't like pizza is counterintuitive. I just don't like pizza.
No, it's fine. Pizza's not the thing I would have gone to. I think there are some times when the groupthink has a point, and you will go out of your way to try and find the flaw in the thinking.
Nail me the next time that happens, because I'm curious on how I think.
You
don't have to do it now.
No, I know. I've done it before. I can't remember a good example, but I will next time it happens.
Because you ask me a lot. You're like, oh, you just.
Yeah, you just swerve in here?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes you do.
I'd rather be right than well-liked.
You do like being right.
I'm just, that's just how I think.
No, I appreciate that.
No, you're exactly right.
Hi, Sat.
Getting it right's important.
Yeah. Do you know a sneaky good room?
I'm going to guess since Sat just came up, you're going to say tight ends.
That's a good room.
It is a good room. It is a good room.
That's a pretty good room.
I think some people forget that Mac Markway was probably going to start this year.
Yeah, and at some point you're going to get Carter Nelson going. You've already got Luke. Although Luke, so if like L2, like next leveling Luke is a little bit changing body type. He's got streamline
a little bit.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because he's definitely can get paid on Sundays. You've maximized Echternach.
Mm-hmm.
Markway's back. Carter Nelson. I told you about Hengerson.
You like Danny King?
Danny King. They just put on paying for his school, and I like Sorensen.
Oh yeah, Sorensen's nice.
So you don't have any redshirt freshmen in that room. You've got freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors. But
yeah, you'll be all right.
You only have one senior.
Is Ingerson not technically a redshirt freshman, or he won't be a redshirt freshman next year?
He'll be a sophomore next year.
Okay. I didn't realize he played enough to not have a redshirt.
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
There you go. I like him.
And to quote Caleb, he's like, man, if he's just a little bit twitchier, he'd be playing on Saturdays.
Yeah. I like Ingerson a lot.
So you know what drives him up the wall, and I'm glad he has to live with him, is, I watch warm-ups all the time. I would never say this to Caleb, but I watch warm-ups, right? So the first group goes in, the defense, and then the next group goes in on defense and the secondary. So it's Caleb, it's Mari Sanders, it's Rhett. Like that next group up, you're just getting reps. He always when he's fitting in the run game, he always has to go against Ingerson because he's in that group given the looks. He gets killed every time. And I'm like,
Ingerson's a big dude.
And I always want to say, I don't know if I want to say, hey, Eric, it's a defensive drill. Let those guys win.
Be
or
nice.
I want to say, hey, you rather stay ready than have to get ready, Lob. Stop getting your tail kicked. It's just funny, though, because I think everything he does is with – everything Ingerson does is kind of
with bad intentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
You need some guys like that.
Yeah, you do.
That's kind of why
I wish you could see him up close. I was floored because now he has muscles.
Yeah,
So
because he
he's
was
not-
lean. He was lean before.
He was lean.
Yeah.
But he
had good frame though.
was like,
That was always the thing, and I know people got mad about this. That was always the thing. They're like, "Oh, he's going to turn into a tackle or whatever." I was like, if he turns into anything, it's a D end.
Yeah, and he at no point was anybody talking to him about being a tackle.
Yeah,
and he's a good-looking kid too.
Yeah.
Like,
but like
he's got the the hair and like
it impressed me at Papio what he did on the defensive side of the ball. Like if I was going to see him somewhere else,
he wrecked us.
That'd be Rec Miller North too. That's where I saw it. That's the place I would have gone before. I mean,
it's a good room.
It is a good room. Might get a lot better here soon.
Oh,
I think they're getting him out, Hudson. I just do.
Oh, isn't he something?
I think they're getting him out,
Boy,
Hudson.
the tag teaming of him and Trey.
Like, I think he loves Trey. I think he loves.
He looked good this weekend.
The basketball program. I think they're getting him out, Hudson. I just do.
Yeah.
I don't have inside information.
Wouldn't surprise me.
That's just the way it seems like it's going to go. And hot danger.
Do you know as of right now how many seniors do you think Nebraska has going into next year?
It's under 20, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like 16?
18.
Yeah, like it's not a lot.
That's wild.
It's not
And
a
you
lot.
had a small group this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 19 this year, 17, somewhere like that. Yeah, no, I mean, we kept saying it's the youngest team in the Big Ten. Like, it is, all of those guys are like freshmen, sophomores, redshirt freshmen. Like, you're finally getting some guys.
And it's go time now.
It has to be, right? There's no other way around it. But it is,
That's what I like about Nebraska basketball.
Yeah.
It's an experienced bunch.
Yeah. Well, look at Indiana football.
Yeah. How about and I hate to give Jerome any credit, but his pull on most unsung. And
for Jamarcus.
He brought up Jamarcus.
Yeah,
I was like, oh shoot, good pull.
That was a good call.
Dude, how big was he Saturday?
Unbelievable.
Dude, his shot making
way better than it. Way better than
it was. It was relatively early, but he made a 3 at the end of the shot clock that looked like Lucky Charms touched the rainbow type stuff. And that joker hit nothing but net. I said, oh, it might be one of those days for Nebraska. But then they gave up a crazy run. It was down 16. I was like, oh, so much for Jamarcus. But they made some tough shots to hang in there. And then it was just like They took Indiana's will.
Frager made
he
some
was
tough shots.
scoreless going into like the last 7-8 minutes. I may be a little off on that, but he wasn't balling yet.
No, but
he took that thing over late.
Late, he made some huge shots. Multiple levels of the defense he did it against. I like watching Frager play a lot.
Me too.
Like, he is a guy that
the thing I'm happiest about is he found a place where they let him be who he is. That's my favorite. Because he can. I'm telling you, recruiting, I think, was kind of hard on him.
Yeah.
And I almost felt bad that, he was kind of getting painted with a broad brush. And I was like, ooh, if you find a way to harness that, though.
What do you think he was getting painted as?
So sometimes,
because I don't remember his recruitment super well.
So a little bit late of a bloomer. And I think people thought I think the general perception was he was just too, they know how coachable he's going to be. I mean, he would shoot some. I watched him forever, and I was like, "Ooh, just harness it, baby."
Yeah,
because he has my number one attribute:
competitive.
Yep.
Which is what I like about him.
Yeah,
is that dude's a dog,
and he gives
confident.
Zero cares.
Confident.
And I remember I'd see the scouting reports and stuff post playing them, and he would come into these games against Westside kind of not. Maybe playing as well or whatever. And he would do whatever the opposite of the scouting report said. It just seemed like it.
Yeah. He is.
I watched him warm up, and I was like, is he going to go anywhere inside the paint? No. Shot all threes, playing with the ball.
Yeah.
Just in his element, right? And I don't know, 19 points and 3 dunks later, it was like, huh.
That's the hard thing to kind of figure out as a coach sometimes is how do you let a guy be himself, yet also give him a little bit of structure so that they can be the best version of themselves. Yeah. That's really tricky. I don't know that people totally appreciate that. And
that was my favorite thing about watching Frankie Fiddler.
Oh,
in a
sure.
similar vein.
Yeah.
John Tanji, similar vein.
Yeah.
Although Tanji wasn't as
talk about
mean-spirited as the other two.
Yeah. Competitive, though.
But super competitive.
Yeah. He'll stay on it.
And that's why I like Tanji.
I would describe Tanji.
I like those guys that just won't ever go away.
As a grinder.
Yeah.
More than
he works hard too in the offseason. He's a total rat.
I'd describe Frager as more like a dog. He'll fight. He wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Tanji's more of a grinder. He'll just keep chipping away. And talk about late bloomers. My God.
And it's just good to see. I mean, Right Cell's balling back healthy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of local flavor.
No, you love to see it. And it felt like in real time, and this was probably just my perception of it, it felt like the Nebraska kind of recruitment offer was if he wasn't local, we wouldn't be in on this. That's how it felt with Frager. Yeah. And if he's in Missouri, I don't know if Nebraska goes and finds him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you. But, locally how they are out, guys, just how many times they had him on campus. They did the same thing with Bynum. I watch Nate and those guys up close. I see what they're doing with Dada. They're not just rolling the dice.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing their due diligence.
Well, again, this goes back the whole show here.
Which, by the way, that was a great one for Westside, bouncing back after losing the prep. And then prep turns around and
loses the next night, right?
To North Star.
Yeah.
North Star's got a chance. Boys, girls.
Really?
Yeah.
So Southwest, because that's who Westside beat Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Southwest is good this year.
They are. It's just a bad matchup for them because they're small.
Yeah. And Westside's got a ton of length.
Westside is
ton of length.
Huge.
Yeah. But that's it was a good weekend at high school.
Yeah, because your Daubers could have been down.
Oh, sure. Especially you just
after,
beat Westside in the holiday tournament.
Yeah.
You come back and lose to them at home on a packed house. And then
so they closed the doors for that one. I
think it was an hour before
JV wasn't done yet.
Yeah. I think we reported it was about an hour before the game started.
That was it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good weekend for high school hoops.
Yeah, college, high school. I think high school in A.
Mm-hmm.
I'd put. I think there's 6
teams that can win it.
I think that's
Westside.
It's kind of where I would.
Prep.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah.
You put North Star in there?
Yeah.
Are you putting Middle North in there?
Yes.
All right, that's 5. Who's 6?
So there's a couple that are on the Friends that I want to see. There's legit dark horses.
Sure.
I'm a big Papio guy.
Oh yeah. You mentioned that.
Like, I'm
yeah.
They have to play a certain
I'll
way,
say
but they're capable.
Been a little rocky.
And I love Vignes. I like how they play.
Okay.
And one team that I think is inevitably going to get better, especially now that they're doing some different things with Morrow and how they defend. I'm always going to probably like Bellevue West because I think Klein is sensational.
Yeah.
So
5 plus a couple dark horses.
Yeah. And I'm leaving out 1 or 2 because I haven't seen. Like, if I'm not there, then I'm a big NE scores guy, and it has to give me the opportunity to watch. And then because I have an NFHS network account. So
who are the ones you're leaving out that you need to see more of?
I want to see Southeast. I want to see East a little more.
Okay. Southeast, Southwest had that big one on Friday, right?
Yeah. I think Southeast can be good.
Yeah.
But I need to see more of their schedule against, and it'll play itself
like
out.
competition.
Yeah, it'll play itself out.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that Southeast Southwest game I think was same as Prep West Side, like where it was like you couldn't get in the joint.
Oh yeah.
I was looking at pictures on social media.
It looked packed,
and I was like, "You're way down." Because I've been in that gym, and I'm like, some of the pictures that the guys were taking, they were way down the sidewalk.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, there's not a chance. I don't know. I'd have had to leave.
A little crowded for your taste. No place to hide.
It was like that one night we played Benson. Nebraska played on a Friday night football.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been against Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I sat with Rashawn. So it was Illinois, I think, on a Friday night, and Westside played at Benson.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of spoiled. But I typically don't care about the cold. But I was out there, like the doors weren't open.
Yeah.
I was like, I love my kid, but not that much. I started to leave. They finally unlocked the door. I don't know how these guys. It's so bad. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gotta watch it on my phone.
But like Kobe said, the only reason he likes me is because he thinks I'm special. Like, dude said that in the chat.
I mean, Kobe will say.
He will say just about it.
He'll say whatever. That's probably why he likes the show because
Kobe.
We'll say about whatever. It happens.
Isn't that special?
Isn't that special?
No, not so much.
No, it's fun. It's been good. It was a good weekend of basketball.
It was really good.
Good hoops weekend.
So
at all levels.
Finally caught up with Michigan.
Yeah, that one was surprising because I don't think Wisconsin's good.
Well, I kept they were on a
heater. Yeah.
In the second half, that was incredible. We're talking about all these other things, and I'm just chiming in with.
Yeah, I'm watching Nebraska and then Creighton.
Yeah,
and you're just like, man, Wisconsin, and I'm like, what are we doing here? You're like, oh, Wisconsin. It's like, bro.
I know. I actually put it in the quad box.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And usually when it's one of the teams that I'm rocking with, like I don't share you with a ton of other, but
yeah.
I don't know. The start that Wisconsin got off to in the second half, and I had just watched Penn State, Michigan.
Yeah.
Because I want to know as much as I can about Michigan because I've been commenting on them all year.
Yeah.
So I want to put it against the numbers that I see. Because that's part of my next homework project because, there's a couple teams in the SEC that I want, Arkansas and Alabama mainly, that people think they keep getting the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So I'm locked in on the SEC because that Tennessee-Florida game told me all I need to know about Florida. I told you Florida's I said this. You said
don't be distracted by the record.
Yep. Because they were starting to rack up early losses, and I was like, their schedule is crazy.
Schedule was
they
tough.
need to get the benefit of it. Do you see what they did to Tennessee?
I did not see the Tennessee game.
They beat them by like 35 or 30.
Do you like Tennessee, though? I don't know what to do with Tennessee.
Not so much away from Knoxville.
Okay.
And I still think they struggle offensively.
The losses that I think got me with Florida a little bit was TCU.
TCU is weird.
They're fine.
So do you know who I think is not very good?
Who?
And they just what are you doing with Kansas?
Well, I don't think Kansas is very good.
Is West Virginia better than I think?
Maybe. I've only seen them like twice.
So you don't think Kansas is very good?
I think they have high. I think they have a high ceiling. I don't think they have a level of consistency I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like on any given night, I think they can go out and ball.
I mean, are we even going to remember Peterson? Because he's going to get lost.
Not in college.
Wow.
Well, when we're not. Like, he's been banged up, so he hasn't played every night.
Yeah, but he is.
This isn't a signature Kansas team.
He is sensational.
I mean, this maybe is an extreme example, but like, do we remember Kyrie Irving at Duke?
No. Certainly on TV more than Leave It to Beaver.
9 games at Duke. I remember him in the NBA. I forget where he goes to school half the time. Like, I don't remember. Here's another good one. I forget Jason Tatum's a Duke guy all the time.
Yeah.
Constantly.
But you know,
like a lot of these 1-1.
I think Tatum was like an 18-a-night guy in the ACC.
He was good.
He gives me Brandon Ingram vibes.
He was good, but you sit there like
Ingram is way better as a one. Ingram was in, I don't know about, maybe Incredible's a reach.
He was very good at Duke.
He was way good.
Yeah.
And we forget.
Yes. So I think there's a lot of those guys that, like, if you don't have a really, really good team, then you just sort of forget about their college career because they're there. It's like it's a blink of an eye and they're done.
Yeah.
But then you get to, like, Peterson is that guy for me this year.
And I hope Nebraska, Yates isn't healthy, but there's a couple backcourts that I'll be curious to see if they can give Nebraska problems. I like Washington's backcourt with Diallo and
Yates.
You
brought that up before.
Yates is hurt.
Yeah.
He didn't play last night because they played late. And I found my comp to Thornton, who drives me up the wall.
You love Thornton. That's your guy.
But he kept him in it because he was finishing in the paint against Wisconsin. But you know who drives? I think I said in the group chat, I'm glad Creighton didn't get him.
Who?
Gales Jr.
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you don't like that guy.
Those games, man.
Yeah, you don't like that guy.
But their three-headed monster's pretty good.
Speaking of Nebraska, though,
I don't think it's daunting, though.
I'm not
Michigan.
Crazy. Like, Nebraska needs to lose at some point, right?
Yeah.
Like, they have to lose before March.
I don't know about that.
I do.
I just don't want their first loss to be in the tournament.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so.
Like, you cannot have, like, if given Nebraska's situation with the NCAA tournament, they cannot.
Said no way, and he's a KU guy. No way. I don't know, man. West Virginia's kind of scary. But you're right. KU is pretty civvy. But they looked. That's
sort of like, so.
Does Ken Palm like West Virginia?
I've got it up right now. I'll look. It doesn't look like it. I don't see them in their top 40.
They're below top 40. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Wow, they don't
59.
Like them. Yeah, I don't like them at all.
Wow. So S. Kelly here brings up an interesting point. He says, "My KU alum brother told me he'd be okay if self-retired."
Oh, just think.
I feel like Kansas underperforms a lot.
That's not a super hot take, but the last time they had no business winning the last one.
That's the thing is, I think they also overperform a lot. But
I'm pretty sure he maximized.
He maximizes, it seems like, with worse rosters, though.
Wow, is that a hot take?
Think about his best rosters. Think about his best rosters.
No, I know. I'm well aware. But I rock with Self, though.
Listen, I don't have a problem with him, but think about best rosters versus best teams. This feels like a guy that struggles with maybe saying no to certain guys that want to come play for Kansas.
Hey, I got another one. You have Ken Palm still open?
Yeah.
What does Ken Palm think about Georgia?
Let's see here.
Georgia.
28.
Okay.
So they like Georgia a little bit.
Okay.
It took them a long time to come around on Nebraska.
They still don't love him.
No,
though.
it's still just 17.
Really?
Still just 17, yeah.
What Big Ten teams are ahead of Nebraska that Ken Palm likes?
Michigan, Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State. That's
two teams that Nebraska beat.
Yeah, Illinois and Michigan State. Haven't played Purdue or Michigan yet. Yeah.
Huh. What about where's Alabama?
Alabama's 14.
Do you know what Alabama's record is?
11-5.
Yeah. What do you think about Arkansas?
They have losses to Purdue, Gonzaga, Arizona, Vanderbilt. Texas is their only bad loss.
And it was not close.
Arkansas.
Matter of fact, when Texas won, that's the first top 15 win Texas has had in a minute.
Arkansas's 30 in Ken Palm. At 12-4.
Still an average offensive team. Guys running around acting crazy.
I mean, that's Calipari.
They're young though.
When's the last time you saw a Calipari team and you're like, that is a cohesive, coherent offense?
When he had the twins.
The Harrison twins?
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And I think that had more to do with them than it had to do with him.
And it took them a second.
Yeah. I think that is the thing he struggles with the most as a coach.
So maybe Georgia will be the team I keep an eye on.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I do like Vanderbilt. I watched them this week. I think they're pretty good.
You're in on Vanderbilt being real?
No, they're make jump shot centric.
Vanderbilt over Iowa State.
No.
Vanderbilt over Arizona.
No.
Iowa State over Arizona.
No.
Michigan over Arizona.
I'll take Arizona.
Where does Purdue fit?
I think Purdue is the top 6.
Purdue over Vanderbilt?
If they played tomorrow, I'd probably take Purdue.
Purdue over Iowa State. I was going to say Iowa State.
No.
Okay. So
that's
the line.
Iowa
Purdue over Gonzaga.
I think JJ just hammered Purdue again in my sleep. Wasn't I commenting on the half they played?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the most.
That's top 3 halves I'd seen
all year.
Yes.
Yeah.
What Iowa State did to Purdue. And that was at Mackey.
Yeah. Purdue or Gonzaga.
Oh, I'm biased. I'm gonna take Gonzaga.
Okay, so that's
their versatility, their line. I'm gonna take Gonzaga.
Okay, so that's the line for Purdue. That's about your top 6.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I like how you did that.
Sometimes I have good ideas.
No.
No.
The
best idea I've had lately, though.
But do you know who I think is one? I hate. They're giving me Illinois vibes because I
you don't trust them.
I have an irrational get on the Illinois hype trade, and they inevitably always let me down.
Yep.
I might go back to the Houston bandwagon one more time.
Ooh.
That is a really good basketball
It is. Listen, I'm a Kelvin Sampson guy, so I'm not.
And I think they can actually score enough this time.
That's the key there. The key for you is
I got you, Skelly, 54.
The key for you is go next gen
Arkansas
male medical. They've got you covered no matter how you feeling.
See what I got?
You got the nice cup. You're commenting on how I'm never answering your text messages because I'm always out doing stuff. I'm feeling good.
Guess who's on the 500
You got
now?
that TB 500 life. See, you're going to stop answering text messages now, too? Well, not that you regretted it before.
I got to show you the directions that they put on the bio.
That's what I like about them, though. They take care of you, even if you don't exactly know what you're doing.
I think they think I'm stupid.
They can help you out.
Maybe I am.
Make sure you get to nextgenmalemedicalclinic.com. You can schedule an appointment, see what therapies they have available to you, and tell them that your boys over at Hurrdat Sports Live sent you as well.
And
what's up?
They're getting ready to redo the board.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, it's not chalk.
Yeah, it looks like marker, like a weird dry erase marker or something like that.
I asked them about it, and they immediately started laughing. So maybe they heard.
Maybe they heard the show.
The free spiel that we were giving about the amount of information on that board. Wait, I got to read It's Miller time. He says, I'm a huge KU fan, and I love Self, but for his health, he needs to retire. Too many heart scares these pets. Okay, maybe that's it. Maybe he has to chill. I think, and I know BP is a huge KU guy.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That'll be tomorrow. We're doing college hoops, and we got Coach Manning tomorrow.
We got Coach Manning tomorrow for Nebraska wrestling, and we've got Nick Baugh. So we'll get into college hoops.
What random team can I ask Baugh about?
Ooh.
I always give him at least one kind of off the grid. I think tomorrow. Oh, I know who it's going to be.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Georgia.
No, yeah, I could do Georgia. I want to ask him about A&M.
Ooh, good one.
And plus your boy's over there, so I want to know.
Who's my boy? He's your boy?
Trev.
No, he's not. He's your
Feme? Feme?
He didn't end up
Is your boy?
He's your boy. He didn't end up at A&M.
A lot of people want him to come to Nebraska.
He's committed already, isn't he?
Yes.
Elsewhere? Purdue? Did I see that? Is that right?
Wow, was it Purdue? Are you sure?
I think it's Purdue. Perdona May?
Pardon me? That's what that is.
I know. That's what I thought when I saw him commit to Purdue. I go, Perdona May? Purdue to me? I don't know. That's DB.
Maybe I could ask him about Clemson too. Should I give him notes that I'm gonna have some random pulls? Or just,
No, I think you should just fire away.
He's gonna be like this idiot.
And he's gonna be like, DB, I don't cover those conferences.
What? He knows the ton. I got to get into St. Mary's too.
I think he'll be ready for whatever you throw at him.
Ken Palm like St. Mary's?
St. Mary's? What do we got here on the Saint?
I may ask him about St. Mary's because that's legit.
I got Mount St. Mary. They do not like. What did they spelling this thing wrong? Saint. 35.
Oh, so they do kind of like St. Mary's.
Yeah, they do like St. Mary's. Me like it. Me like. Do they like Old Dominion? That's who we'll talk. That's who we'll talk to tomorrow. SDB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.